count. And when I'm count, come on now, so scam now. That's a time here. And the perfume, so much perfume money. May the best for a question me man for. Would be young some. No man, I will 30 minutes. I can't tell my own fan count them and look at the cat. 30 minutes, a Jones here. Was a rather mammy sick, can yet say. That's it, young man. To could be a damn some BSC. Now bring me, mammy, so I get chat for young one. Men do couple and do some one do talk. But I beg why, madam? Papa doesn't move beyond my happy. This is the perfume. Yeah, they flat and yam. Wait, very expensive perfume. I know they flat and yam. And they are normal. Would you come on some for 30 minutes? Who counts anymore? Who counts anymore? I say, Fabra. It is because of this. That is why I traveled. Wait. I didn't wait them to Kakashek and invite him and come and go. I wanted a chance to get it. Was here Siamania desert Nania. Also, Miss Miaconco send it to be beside the time to go some point and desert. Was in Puanonia Yakotor the Guatiti, the Silva goes on the one out of the Avantare. Desert. The desert, the Shadako baby, and town fat. And you keep webby. Somebody ever told you to win your Bientino, will be a better Tuesday. Winning the entire better Tuesday, get better prepare because Tuesday on a good over that day, it is rest assured and gather on the Bema Bedan, I know about that. Seven with my son, you may be able. You are contributing what you will take a month for better. I didn't tell. Someone other sent to the wall, some. It attracts money. Sister, Minian the beautiful. Me person can have say, come by ye, Ajagurajah members who beer good and right. Your poor so no beer to the car. no being count as a seven to be some my left because me carry my man. The person bring ye TV. Who the tell me Yabreno? Me birthday ba. Me birthday bell was some for me chamat. That's also me acquiring man for follow me ya. So also be count. Comfort to come to crony ma. Every gang on war. A young year be a yard here. You want me a yard here. And then desert. 1980. The Arabians were nobody. They were just nomads. They were living on the desert. They had nothing. But look at today. They are one of the richest people in the world. Why? They were able to utilize their sand. Did you want them? I didn't want them. And they had the people. She obeyed their whole culture and their own father. I didn't hear. And Sana Abraham, the maybe Shan, or if you were a new field. Never can I so go father that's for. Man said film is never on fire. What is that for never on fire? One something was so your social, the Bible somebody on the way, a stress on the desert so because on the hair. I'm not just Belle Pella Jacuno. Bible saw the name of stressful. Legend can cause stressful. And there is something in this. The people was happy with him. Wait. The man sabi be crabby. Was a growth on a common farmer. And you be a quantity. And you say, moo. A two pagans are saying that they're great and go pon. Mammy Sika. And yet it's sad, you meet me kind. Meet me a day. Mexican, you mean some. To group, yes, a church means some be a fellow. Sikaka Tokrobama, Ofele. Mr. Tokrobas, Ofele. So to feel some to crocodile and look at fellow some to crew. So far, I got some to Tunto, then I am see to Chrono. So, anybody some bar, you better sleep over. And I dribble your real ya what damn my diachi. A bond now I started Bible, a bought for a rumor break. We are connected 3 yes, I resume. Compliment number 6 after we are moving. Because this is the last program I hear. December, I sorry. If you are growing, you are sorry. And you are December 25th, 26th, you are sorry. If you are real, I'm here to first all night.
I was for Minya de Kakra, Naminchia will be okay. All right. Okay. I was for Michia will be Ameda will be answered. I send us LMLS Ebusianfo, Yeshiam Ewo Hasi, Maniaja Papa, Yellow Chediam Pon Yankopon Asset. And then Thursday 27th of January 2021, near the Asidakasia Paya de Mera, the sender so Yeshiam Hoeba Bedinkomo. And you were talking about Ajagurajah and the expose of Ajagurajah. And we are part 1. Dear maybe a part 1. Nyame adomwa mesaba part 2 into me person share so into me patcho ba click on the share button and invite friends and family to come and join us. Invite friends and family to come and join us. Ajagurajah use Tetragramaton. Edino Tetragramaton or the dada nkofo no do exploiting nkofo medical culture entino mitia obia owoso and for the sake of time entino me person me con fast. Na minuanuma sofo so minu sofo brobe e ba be join me enchakra the same lay foundation ma apostle na otimi ba e be join until you click on the share button and invite friends and family to come and join us. Now if you like a program no if I'm machine pressure any likes na form like a program no I face me patch on any first time subscribe to your channel send your be abribi and about benya notification na yakoya nim Ajagurajah eyubia makacha we say honhom na ewo no so no ono an ka kire yen say yen papa ne nana honhom na aba no so me pachew enye otan so oyubia me no kasa se sa abra me no kasa yi no wose oye Old Testament musumfo oboa won ye kan say ya ana obi ba no abetro oh ene ye ni believe no ene ye ne som no ma ne kwan onye ne de na obi anya ne de me atake ne som awosom ne mmum no waka bibia kyew se osom no aha ne free a eba sani bakuru ya so asa aka kyew se ade a meye no eye me na honhom ne hyemi mu me na honhom nye Old Testament minim ni ntia wuntimi ntia ase ne na honhom a na ne na okom na oye komfo no enye Old Testament because Old Testament na ne na oni ho a okom aye friend kofimpra onkom enti edenti no wo use Old Testament na wuntimi nka ne plain infantry ne nkofo say eya kom adwuma ne yeye pajati ase enti no enyema ni bi wo hu se Ghana for about Tetragramaton na di ni kwa hu ase modu enti na ye ma show na wuntimi nti ase ne ade ne sifate eni nti na mpese menya adaje na enne meni menuanom ye gebre na yetimi eka ho asem chew na wutimi ti ase na wote ade ase na wo ya ufiri akoma mu na na ye pajati ase enti no mesrewara ye be gebre ne asuane ye kakra enti nipa ya wose wodi oye Old Testament musumfo no bisa ho se na wo Old Testament kwa wo betima sum Old Testament ni kenya me wo twede afiri soro krache Old Testament ena wo ba be sum oh erade ade hu yambo enti no utimi se ntro ene ndada na obeye ye ka se Tetragramaton a di ade di onimo nchoro ame ye ka se Tetragramaton a di en eye chain na de ode chiro se Tetragramaton no a me pacho da bi enye no ne friend Tetragramaton enti bia won ti ase nti ka Tetragramaton a di en unima de kro afei ne ba be come deep ne steady ti me pacho ba share broadcast ne ye be sua de obi oba be di batem bia me mfa no ho wo de ase ye no ye skin ye hippopotamus me wudi matem no na wo se no na mmum no medical ka show dada se ye woni pa hodo mienu enye de atem enyansafo ena agimifo ye pese light e shine no ye pese ka enyansafo ho ne etimi koye nim o pese if you want to be among the fools it's up to you a choice but enkan kire me say obi ne ya oye ne yeka so wagimi a ye di na tem obi ani na tem eye ne ye ho asem ne ye ka sister wa dress kama de wo ye no ene ma woka sister in the dressing ye kra brother dressing ye de wo ye ena woka enti de ye hu no ne describe no ye de akyerɛw ne akyerɛw the state of that very thing enti no enye de atem wo just ye besua de enti ne no me ko deep kakra into teachings menu no beba sisi e nti tiase sa obi a wo ba bia menu no masofo me chia obi a Awurade nka obi a ho na Awurade nhyɛ obi aden na yentimi ma no kre ni yanim na ma meka se mo iso ade ba kwan me won say me hu blogger bia a wotimi appoint a kire Ajagurajah say ade a wo ye ne nye blogger not even one ama me ye ma hye me mbranim say eh entimo mo ba software ye nye software hyenkom nye software akoji weska nye video a me body kire we no nka ye software bi ene koka say you can imagine say you wusu bempa ene ka say wako Dubai akofa ahwea na ahwea no wo de perfume befra wo de afa na sorry mansem no mo be yi anka beti Ghana for wo sofo wusu bempa beti ne bobore bobo na mmom no we di onye sofo wo so okom ana woni sumnie nti ono ne de oya eye sofo de oya enye mehu se bloggers no ye timodifo ya wudifo eyo my bofo can plain. They are highly wicked people. Open crofo say Ghana for. You cannot take the media and bloggers out. Cheap. For. Now so Europe, any America, America, the media. The truth. And sepepe ye bekoso. Iti bloggers, iti mi ko na blogger bi pa iti mi akojira nipa desani no na tunsa no ma hwe aduane abom na me say hey me na emi hu say no krepa na da hoyi because ye ka na asem ti sa blogger na dwa na wo dwa ye fa ho ben nipa ejimi ye so ojimi Di pay ade nya ka chen ade na wo ye no nye. Etu okum nantwie o fidi nkrofo aduane na o de sekan wo nkrofo a eye because o de sekan wo bi or that dan nkrofo adwene ensema ya bo nyina fa de Ajagurajah kan ba ko kure ni we no kre. Not even one bloggers are quiet. Omo so omo pen okre platforms ahodo a omo expose do asofo none of them etimi akasa fa Ajagurajah. Minua me pese me bisa say omo na ye adwuma bom in a different style and because I'm shocked. Say we a blogger now we say open okre udi odi no kre na no kre no udi ohu na asofo nko aho and now we expose omo you are also equally wicked because boni na ekos wo man ni mu no enya asofo nko aho eno na na eme wa kakra no obusua wati nkomo ni yedi na say eti me ba betra ha osofo bi osofo no osofo charlatans ni I expose wo mo kire because I am in to me mo wan woni ada ho say sa call your friend who osofo no onye that then will be your comfort obi esunsum sorry ni no so di equally and some fon a ebo man emma nipa anwini yi ene de muntimi nka nkire sa nipa kro no when how double standard ebuso ba mo kire the word ma me double standard. Ye wi okobo na akufo ado achi ye wi obebo asante hinachi ye wi obebo Ghana mpanifo achi so no ankasa na oto ho wakoje bibi kakra e na odi defend bone a ekoso e wo no anani tua na se nipa we no se Erade hu abibifo mobo de bia meka truth is truth regardless what. So enjabusia yen kwa disuan anim na yen hwe obi antro double standard ma me double standard ma wo pambo anase na Ajagurajah emeye di Ajagurajah eye no abusia ka beti all the media all the bloggers won be dinner terms are adding because oye na Ajagurajah oye sofo but san krofo we so a omuso nya sofo ene ukọ Ghana pa se me be ye hu video mesa be ye part 2 enkrofo mu that down krofo pa no enye easy. So eti mumiye ni nkomo kakra ene me se me kira de mo ntinu me ni bre eti me pese ye tie Ajagurajah uri tie ni video we meba
so be boa wo hwe sofo no hu a so be boa wo we hwe sofo di suit o di preach na hwe di shoe ase hin no so be boa wo se sofo uni mu ade be boa me bo twon kurati ati ponum no na sunsum ntisi fom ani ba nti de aye na se
abusiahu eti nanka blogger bi afa wose sofo wo so obeboa wo no hwe wo sofo no ho hwe na tade ehye do eti wo kire yeye but wo so be bia nipa ni gina na wo kasa asem kire wo wo gina patase insuo to na ehwe wo no madwane afri insuo na se hwe na ho prepare bia na odi gina ho oni hwe eti wo gudwa afredwa odi nsem bi hye nipa ni trim enye no kore eti wo kire se sofo ntimi mu a na onye sofo papa se nipa o kasa asem ya kire wo so no wo sha patase enkrofo ebibifo ye enkrofo bi a yadwene ko akira ye yenden adwene se wo tra se adwene no no anka se anything se wo dwene so de man na wo kire no so se mempe ye wonderful people inti asem wo ka kire wi no e indictment ono anka sa broni be say you shot yourself in the foot but e ba ne saying okay yenti Ajagurajah na anu mi mo di video bi nkira wo ai na yen hwa de tie ono anka sa se mo ba beka
me fiti no kasa 4 years ni afei ana mabie kwa se Tetragramaton obi etimi nya bitum so follow me ache follow me ene no how much Tetragramaton
Tetragramaton obi na ukoma bebitu
Tetragramaton
Oripa wiase ahobambo ni ade a ekosto eye
Tetragramaton
protection ene ya ade a edebo dream
Tetragramaton
oni bia baby
Tetragramaton
baby dware
Tetragramaton 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 share bro me se bronya na aba no ada na Ajagurajah movement me kasa be me nsa me bosi because me nim aya minim de waya mamia enti da mi boni din minim de waya mami enti da mi boni din enti ade we mi nkonya no we ade nyina ni mi nkonya no ni nkonya no so da
Pacho show
because minim de waya 12 years in here me discover as ade we say ama for me bre ni mo o mo di sie ye o mo ka
now obi kura Bobby uba I saw activate no
o de Ghana e ti na go for me bre akoko o da bi wo so ayi internet a wo say am da to ko ba nya adwuma ya di moja na activate Tetragramaton enya ni pa moja o wo dwan ana na ntwe moja di activate Tetragramaton
asema na beka kura manafa
jana beka ku so ka so unya Tetragramaton ana ya to ko mo dabi Tetragramaton tikasa you need to activate Tetragramaton. Tetragramaton.
Eh, na ko bije na
Masa
obi a beji bi onu wo galamsa ase abontu ankode.
Aba TV.
Ah. Na se video no wa.
So ba yen twaso. Ana fere Tetragramaton. O ya de ado hwe wate. Na bibu obi ase. E makwase bi ana ada o.
Bi.
To ba chika say.
Obi wa wasi che no, che da ukom de yifi ukom.
Ana na say yifi ukom.
Wuti bi kokuro ngokoto che. Obi anka hwe se sa
che. Ko to fi sa che.
Abusaso ahu me pe key point ne nko a. Also discover Tetragramaton no 12 years. Tio 12 years. 12 years ni no discover Tetragramaton. But 12 years no te apatase no oni hwe. Dwene badwemba. Na nyansa anya adwuma. Oni hwe. Okay. Nti abro discover Tetragramaton no wie no. Afei no say onyame ama ne kwan so meda na di entro. Afei na obeye marketing na odi abu nkrofo because who kwan a sabi wonim say jimifo bi oba bi obebu won into a strategy no and was say Tetragramaton no sa chain no enye Tetragramaton me be kirewo ye ton wa bonten untimi nkoto bi na enye adwuma mfa ma wo age se wa activate no wa activating pacha obi antro word ba me activation power obi me pacho obi ahwe me bia tro bi ma me minim nie ntia me se tro ma me ye di besua de activation power activation obe activate Tetragramaton no nti o se activate a ye di odwan moja ana nantwie moja ye di blood and ye di activate Tetragramaton nti pacho tro bi ma me activation power obi antro bi ma me activation power me nchakra because me nua no masofo no so mo baso and o se Tetragramaton no etikasa oti asem eti chain na ekura no etikasa me bacho tie o aha etikasa o kasa wote Tetragramaton no enti ye besua de ewiase won do kra de ye pepepe word na oboy no eye dien unim say dien aha enti activation power enti na ye behwe no all right entro enti no ma yensan enhwe another video say na be obi meka nkyere me say ni di atro enti tie nipa nanum kasa ne hwe bonni a wodi di Ghanafo entro ne azan ena na mekoka ne nkrofo so mo mpe entro ne wabusuam efri ni papa so efri ne nana nya de ba ne papa ye na yate ho abakwasem o papa aye wanted e wo Ghana abedi na gu ontimi ma Ghana obeba Ghana okofa Togo me say me nwie sa de wo yo because Abraham yes me kan asem no phone calls pa ahwie gu ma akwan mu no enkrofo akoho omo nim ne papa omo ne sign ono a na busuafo radinyo make asem me ntwantro because utwa ntro e fa obi ho na do person de obi obetimi de ayo ono na busuafo e freme e kansem boni a wodi nkrofo ne ma wanyenyem wonom nye baako spirit bi o aye dirty be me bia fama so ye sofo ye archbishop or ye president or ye minister be me bia fama but one wo ba etime da na wo ba anyem na wo abo na wo nana anyini na ono so sane na da aba ena de menko ho njino hwe we so na mpacho ba share broadcast no na ye share so from fatutu ba bi o so de to bia ni ensia de to be no se na mako ni slow kakra be pe so tin ye me yase nti mpacho hwe we so
peacock so ko fabia ba go mi fia ha sei ma hu se ya adwuma no wo so wonyini eti de bia no be gina class 1 wo si bia ye mpaebo
be all we are to be empire. But they be an empire. Sometimes little things. What does it? Because you can even feel them more. Because you can even feel them. Where is it? What does it? Because it deals and go for that actually. Because bring both you get a people's war. This is invest in people's. It has only for mobile 5. Some go far bear for about good fiancé. No, it's not sport. Please, I mistakenly visited the washroom with my Tetragramaton. It's not sport. Maybe it's not sport. Why? And say it. Why? And say it. We catch you say. I didn't mean come once and be the net. I didn't mean come once and chill. Look, let me show you. I didn't mean come once and chill. Be the fair. I didn't come once and only gold. A pure gold from and a damn gold. Now the car was here. And the car was here. Me fed you. Oh, ferry. But me, oh, what about me is me fed on. Amy. Amy. With a very tetragramaton. And a very tetragramaton. Me ferry. Papa Bacho Kawan show you. Baby wom. Baby wom. Me be bien, me see. Me chimney crying. See now. Other having to see other baby chimney. Baby wom.
Minia. Adeɛ ne yɛfrɛ no tetragramaton na ankasa no ɔse bibi wom mpatwɔ hwɛ adeɛ ma me kakra bi wae ahwɛ wi
Emi ko sisi e never na hobambo it sometimes a wo ba e dwane firi wo ho yankasa wa hobambo bofo Ajagurajah won ka nantwie bofo zinzak wonye fulani ni sawanso wantola won onye nantwie etimeti wono sebe mpegi asase be so me yesunsun so so fo me nka nantwie edi se me hyekokɔ na nantwie pɛ sɛ ɔpɛ me na me twi me ho afiri ho a enka sebe mpegi asa say that ya na say that ye wagimi a ana bema bibi kwasia bi ana kwasia mpanyi bi aku
Bobby, Uba, I saw activity.
Oh, dear Ghana. Eti na confirm be akwa order bi wo so ayi internet a wo say abda to ko ba nya adwuma. Ya di moja na activate Tetragramaton. Enya di pa moja wo dwan ana na ntwe moja di activate Tetragramaton.
Asema na beka kura manafa.
Ja na beka kuzo ka so unya Tetragramaton ana ya to komo. Dabi Tetragramaton tikasa. You need to activate Tetragramaton. Tetragramaton.
Eh, na ko bi na
Masa
obi a beji bi ono wo galamsa ase abontu ankode.
Aba TV.
Na se video no wa.
So ba yentwa so. Ana fere Tetragramaton.
Emi ko sisi e.
Never na hobambo. Tetragramaton.
Eh, na ko bi na
Masa
obi a beji bi ono wo galamsa ase abontu ankode.
Aba TV.
Na se video no wa.
So ba yentwa so. Ana fere Tetragramaton.
obi abeji Tetragramaton bi am ya bonitu anko nanso nantwi abeben wo dwane no we dey me betwa mu kwanti wa ankasa fa otitu sumie so na dwene ho okay enti abusha for ma fe dey ma menye ni se nkyira we ma menye ni se nkyira we na yemfa we ni enhyehye so na I think that me will be 5 minutes per na minua no ma join me na minua no ma join me di we kyerɛ na yɛ frase say abusha for hwewe we ne frɛ no omo frɛ no Tetragramaton enna na da ɛyɛ we na ade no so no Tetragramaton no sei na tie sa na omo ka ɛyɛ symbol sei na tie nti hyɛ ne nso ɛna wayɛ bi ɛde ato no kom wayɛ bi di ama ne nkrofo ni nyinaa ɛna wa charge wɔnom ɛna wɔde ayama wɔn nti hyɛ ne nso sɛ Tetragramaton no sei ɛna tie me bebi say we ne free hin ne bae because you need to know because no me ankrofo we die gu wɔn ho no sɛ sɛnia wɔka ne saa de a etu hwɛ Tetragramaton ɛna ayɛ ho ra no TETRAGRAMATON MATON and yadi atro etwa ho ahia Tetragramaton no na ye ka Tetragramaton a ma me nkyerɛw ade Tetragramaton na tiase Tetragramaton enye chain we ye cross hwi nim power bi anim we enye nipa nkwa tumi nim ensave nipa nyame wonti we mu aha just a symbol keke nyame wonti okay tinam share that ye we ni beche we on team okay Tetragramaton enye chain na den unim bible no se abra onyankopon koda ne ho adi kire Moses e wo Midian asase so bible say Moses bisa say na wo ye hwan me kono mu bisa say hwan na asoma me because no nyame asoma no so kwa aka say I am who I am has sent you I am and asoma wo na sa word I am no do ko Hebrew ka say mo a eno ene friend Tetragramaton oh eye YHWH eno mu ni nya the word Yahweh eno mutino YHWH no eno mo de your friends and vowels ehihye because it's all consonant into YHWH eno ne your friend Tetragramaton eti ohwa sei na tie ojiu kasa ni mu eye y no eni ho unse Yahweh no matro ni na ama etu hwe Tetragramaton a eno eni sei ne ade we ne friend Tetragramaton Yahweh no and your friend Tetragramaton na the original Hebrew word no na e enim me repeat na e enim intina ye YHWH odiko Hebrew kasa ni mo eye yod he vav he ma me repeat eye yod he ebi mi say wow and I say vav he it depend me pese me kire wade kakra eti Tetragramaton no eye onyame din prekope enye symbol onyame din eti sanet eno ne friend Tetragramaton na sa Tetragramaton no enne ubenya bia na me kire me no study ade kakra ubenya bi na sa onyame din kasie no sen no onyankopon eka kire yen efa ne din ho eti ye ho ne ba besua ade kakra onyame din na afa me wi a na me fire na me kire nsi mo otimate ase enti eye din nyame din prekope na yenhwe ade wi wa ha mamini kan fa mehewe I'll come back to you. All right, eti uhwe we eye Exodus chapter 20 verse 4 and 7. Exodus 24 and 7 or say you shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. That is the verse 4. Verse 7 says, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. Or say Tetragramaton yo onyame din dia na ye YHWH I ye de vowels asichem na be Yahweh dia anase ye kan Jehovah ene ma me kire no munti no menko ho agulenti ye from Yahweh to Jehovah no aha na wo say din we no nyame din me mention no in vain nyame din no in vain na mmom no obi obebo nyame din bia ni bia no onyame say obetwe na so anas o holding pakro no guiltless, which means you will be guilty of his name. Shanusuma me pa, you will be guilty of his name. Ni din no obedi hu for nyame din hu hia ne papa my man san hwa ade wa me hwe ntino me pentem kakra yenhwe we Psalm 8 verse 1 or say, oh Lord, our Lord, how excellent is your name in all the earth, who have set your glory above the heavens. Etinyakupo din ay excellent. Obi nchoma me. The excellent name. Onyame din ay excellent. Excellent. Choma me. Ha. Befesa wote ase. Excellent. Nyakupo ni din no ay very excellent. It's a wunya hu onyame din no a obeti ase ay excellent. Ehiamwa Nyankopon ni tumi ni eye ni din. Untimi separate God and his name. It was the din eye excellent, ade eye excellent ne mfomso bia ni ho ehia bibia hye ho ne nso na mesa abaso me ma foundation. Afa hwe we so it was Psalm 83. Psalm 83 verse 18 say, then they will learn that you alone are called the Lord, that you alone are the most high, supreme over all the earth. Onyankopon Tetragramaton eye the supreme over the earth. I repeat, Tetragramaton eye supreme over the earth. I repeat, Tetragramaton eye supreme over the earth. Eti Tetragramaton eye supreme over the earth. Ne dini tumi any amodi wum dia. Eye den obi bodini in vain. Now, you can't Exodus on Nyame se me any craving image. It will Nyame dino or ma kwang that in history from time when Nyankopon Asia Abraham besine say ubeye onyame din sa Tetragramaton no anasa Yahweh word no e de agu bibi so no waton eye no me ema obi a obeto bie eno me be kan me ka kyerɛw say eno eno say eye Tetragramaton eye onyame din kese a ye nton what to be biano is either say ukwa to agu ana wo de no me ebe tra wo so onyame se ne din no wo boni bia ni bia you won't go scot free. Me pesa wo hye ho so because I had the Bible mu kakra wo a wonjindi eyewa cup of tea I don't care but say wonya jindi bi wom so wo se Tetragramaton tumi wom dia ana Tetragramaton do ton e de maw no me na tra wo so because untimi nton nyame. You can't sell God. Number 2, untimi fa nyame din no enye any image na won fan to so. Na ma menkyerɛ wade. Na se na nko se nka mede we eto so na mentimi amfa to so. Nti I think se metimi hu ha na me de akyerɛw. It should be okay. It should be okay. It should be okay. Anka mede to so anka beti ase pa but I think se be okay. All right. Pejiwfo no in those days, you know, well, almost so Yankopon dia, no much ni say G-D. Almost so G-O-D now. Do you know why? Because the name is too sacred and the name is too powerful. Say the ancient Jew for no. Almost so Yankopon dini G-O-D say the church on basabasa no. Bepemu ne. Omo Jew for no sila no practice Judaism no. When they are writing God, no matter space, no matter D, they are afraid to write even the whole name because the name is sacred. The name itself is sacred. Jew fontimi mosa dino. Na ye na ye ba na ma na ye kika bia. A powerful name. Ti hona say. Na edino Yahweh no. You cannot so be engrave it on a dear be a symbol because when Yamia can't show that the book of Exodus and Leviticus say men yes hadian or you Yamia chiwade or catch Israel for into Yanko Pombo for be free baby but ebe catcher will say saying I was say ya number for near true for because Unyame in cantro na while no Yamia could try baby no was a son Anthony no was some for be so me country Debbie. Bible say, the book of Galatians say, Bofompo free baby, but the can be before the chewa. Let that bofoni be a curse. The yatrama wono. Se bofo wine, and was me the Gabriel, me the Michael, no beka be before fra. Any Bible ni moi was let him be a curse. Omuba be confirm the word of God. Eti way the unconfirm way because when yamia some echri sad yen na oye. Na sembo ne free hin e bai. Shall we? Me chrobe be free by. Now, ye free be Wicca. Wicca no in this 19th century and a by Wicca knowledge. Now, omu yusu sa symbol no a occultic symbol for incantations, for divinations, and almost say yusu for witchcraft. This is an information you have to learn. It saying that here o type in Wicca obetiasie enti sa ade na nie enti which comprises o hwe ade na da ho no a omo pese kiro say tetragrammaton no a believe in the four elements eye water, eye air, eye fire and earth no. Na the fifth one no aye spirit. And to share at the end point na no point in one. Eye 5 1 2 3 4 5. Na point be a the ejira hodema. Baako ye spirit, baako ye air, baako ye fire, baako ye earth, and a baako ye water. Na ewo ni mean baby free a eba. Symbol way is not in the Jewish culture, it's not in Christianity culture, and he free ever. Don't undermine this symbol, Tetragramaton, with the Star of David. The Star of David, you know, of 6 edges. Way 8 points in a 5. The Star of David, a 6. It is a only more. Obefi say, oh, where the Star of David there be. And yeah, no, where Tetragramaton no me di na to so. It what divination does, and they say. Now, what 10 at the end, that is where deception comes in. For example, divination a form of prophecy. It will not prophecy or prophesy. Now, so a divine divination. It deals with enchantment, witchcraft, voodoo. And to be a what spirit of divination, a python spirit, I'm a church and a hada. About who type in over my platform divination, but a python spirit, pythona, pythona, pneuma pythona, and a friend the spirit of divination. It is our divination, you know, a bit mabo ding, a bit mabo crum, a bit mabo adriania wedi, a bit mia come home sembia, and yan tro a no cre. But at the end, you know, to a becker trust a quiet a drunk one, because the devil cannot tell truth. It may be me that down says symbol ni you nyame symbol. Won't be free ever. All right. Now Wicca the and you see them say the word Wicca a predominantly Western movement. Here Ajagurajah say one a movement. Wicca a Western movement whose followers practice witchcraft and nature worship, and who see it as a religion based on Christian traditions of Northern and Western Europe. It spread through England in the 1950s and subsequently attracted followers in Europe and the United States. That is Wicca for you. Shannon Sonono. It is always symbol way. Neda hona who Wicca no. That is what it means. Ebio sono. Wicca ni bio a neo-pagan nature religion based in part on pre-Christian Celtic beliefs and practices, typically entering on a mother goddess or a goddess god pair, and the practice of ceremonial witchcraft. With information that is what it is. And you know, this is what you are dealing with. Now what you are dealing with. Now, my first scripture we and I think so. Because name say nyina it will be and to mame on scripture. Let me come it again and read it from here for you. Let me read it now. All right. Nahum chapter 3 verse 1 to 4. Nahum chapter 3 verse 1 to 4. Nahum chapter 3 verse 1 to 4. Remember witchcraft, or say, woe to the city of blood, full of lies, full of plunder, never without victims. Never without victims. The crack of whips, the clatter of wheels, galloping horses and jolting chariots, charging cavalry, flashing swords and glittering spears, many casualties, piles of dead bodies without number, people stumbling over the corpses. Was it all because of the wanton lust of a prostitute, alluring and mistress of sorceries, who enslaved nations by her prostitutes and people by her witchcraft? Theo Onyankopon catch him, let me repeat the last part. Was all because of the wanton lies of a prostitute alluring the mistress of sorceress, who enslaved nations by her prostitution and peoples by her witchcraft. Enti sanye man e free asese esia enema na obobo so no was full of lies and trouble, full of plunder, was never without victims. One was the crack of whips, the clatter of wheels, and the not talking about was many casualties, piles of dead bodies without number. And near me be who free assessor or practitioner at your how no many a man near the brain for when Yamia Seminaka, the book of Nahum. And was in a day nipa woni etiatia won so ahokyere casualties, victims a day in a deba. No, number one, lust of a prostitute. And then number two, and for practices sorcery. And then number three, people are enslaved by witchcraft. People are enslaved by witchcraft. And you share video no. Na Ajagurajah, I come in 5 minutes. Let me do myself for now. Let me do minu anamaba. Na Ajagurajah say, at Tetragramaton, ubetimia activity. Eye musuo kesiye ene wabo. I repeat, eye musuo. You cannot activate Tetragramaton. With the was say with Ojai Moja and then Moja so TV video no enyame na mebo. Enti Tetragramaton no so we yes obe activate here. Nature say you are activating God. Tie na opese wo activating nyame. You cannot activate God. Dini boy and say God is excellent. Patwati ase. Aha. Eti was say Onyankopon tio Onyankopon ni din eye excellent. O hia moa by my mefa we into subane. Bible say the name of the Lord is a strong tower. Proverbs 18:10. Or say the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runs to it and is safe and set on high, far above evil. Into onyame din Tetragramaton no. Or say a strong tower. Na obia odwane otrenini obia wogidie womu no, because the Bible talks about righteous in contest, people that have belief and faith and confidence in the name of the Lord. Was this omu dwane kotwa dinu a omu gi edin Tetragramaton dia was it they are safe. Onyame bo mu ba wia no onyame asete omu on high, far above evil. And that one no. Eti enye chi na ade betu kom ana Tetragramaton Ajagurajah sabi na brabom oyefin nipa bia yefin ne ho nti wo awurade anim age so fa Kristo so wo kraje nkwa na moja na te wo ho. Eti ono no oyefin na se on ne ho nti wo awurade anim. That is what I mean. Nyefin so wo nware o dabi ne ho nti wo awurade anim wo nipa ye mortal na wo se bofo bi ode Ajagurajah no mu ena mukọ activate nyame. Misi mi yaba shimya manin crofo no wo ena uko activate Nyankopon your boss will boss asase the din hotel no wo na uko activate God. You have a punishment. You have wouldn't no mean to one kasa wabra boso. I wanted you to understand this first. Into me boni video no atiase. There has to be teachings. And you know mo amukọ to Tetragramaton no me pacho enye no a symbol no nye nyame. Nyankopon wonte symbols sim nyame wonte ankachifu na me wonte oso fokusuam nyame tumi antihwimu nyame tumi ye nyame. The name of God is God. And you believe in the mere same ye nyame. In the beginning was the word and the word was with God and the word was God. And Moses everything ye fra was saying me kwa wasumame say me ko you ma me kwa me nkasa was I am Tetragramaton has sent you into a non-nyame no. And then you know, saying Yamen wabet now nipaduam. Oh my goodness. Wabet Christo ni nipaduam. Iti Christo ni jano kotwa dinua. Senior Proverbs eka wasemna. U jano kotwa dina na edino Tetragramaton abet na umu. Waso bet na umu. He makes you safe from all evil. Hey, opa ma bay for 2 billion. Mama me wata, papa wata, momo nchichi udin, momo mecha utinwi, momo mefa wata adie, momo mefa unhu bribi, enkotu nsuo bi so, suman so, momo nkanche, momo nchechere, momo nye dio mo beye, omo ntwa nipa moja, be 2 billion, momo nkofa na ntwie, wan moja, so mo beye tia, onyankopon se, esan se wono, Tetragramaton, or 2 muntino, you are safe. Far above evil. That is why Isaiah 54 said, no weapon fashioned against you shall prosper. Psalm 91 so the catcher said, your tip or chip, your tea or susu nino, man can before say, he that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Netiu was it what now when Yakupon Chedian Ponyunia na the Tetragramaton uti Onyankopon Yunasia was saying the David said here, Seminya train Yunasia, then I will say of the Lord, Mecca say, he is my refuge, my fortress, my God, or no name Tetragramaton, in him I trust. Tienie, in him I trust. Tetragramaton enye chain, enye symbol, me prekope. And also, surely he shall cover me with his feathers. You know, Psalm 91 and Bikotuchon was under his wings, you shall have refuge. Under his wings, you shall have refuge. Also, his faithfulness shall be my shield and my buckler. His faithfulness, unyame no kredienu, and a be your shield, na your buckler. Or say, you, who are Shemina, and we are Christian. Or say, you shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the arrow that flies by day. Or big to area, the area bomb said, arrow, you're releasing area. Any arrow of sickness, arrow of shame, arrow of darkness, arrow of pain, whatever arrow that it is, that is coming from the camp of the enemy, or say, you shall not be afraid. You shall not be afraid. By the terror by night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the plague that stalks in darkness, was it not the destruction that lay waste at noonday? Was it more Tetragramaton when Yamitimu? Was it 1,000 shall fall by your side, 10,000 at your right hand side? It will never even come near you. Why? God, Tetragramaton, YHWH Yahweh, what to intimate come near you. Was it because you have made the Lord, who is your refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place? Oh my goodness. Was it no evil? I think verse 10. No evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near your dwelling. For he shall command his angels to take charge over you. They shall keep you in your hands, lest you shall not bear your foot against any stone. Was you shall tread upon the lions and the cobra, the young lion and the serpent you shall trample underfoot. See, because you have said, go and read it. Is the Tetragramaton. Now, one nipa we wakwakofa weka, witchcraft activity, symbol of darkness, symbol of divination and sorcery and occultism. And what that wajiraka say a unyame symbol is a curse, and a no nima will be biera or friend who so ye Christo near wakofa sa di any biru. Because the Tetragramaton yamidina betina umu. So when it's inside of you, no weapon fashioned against you shall prosper. But what I say, when Yamini Israel for Namno, God did so many miracle signs. That is not Tetragramaton. But what I say, it's you when Yakupon. Ewo de oya bribia na musuo kase a untimi mo Yakupon etimi pa esum na Israel for afem. Nyame yensenkyere ni bebre because oye nyame tiase. If God chooses say eneme pie for more the washawa, who are you to question God? Who your mind now? Who to me fine here now? Why ye de open why ye clay who you are no one man san clay no say no who be question because you have been given dominion over those things. Now who when Yankopon watch was from that is why people that question God on memorable wo refraf mosquito class so ma wunti nyina correlate me chow COVID-19 to me hold you ransom no a prisoner to sickness. Wo and no one yam what dear no ever question yame won't yes say yami do be a chef from now. I'm trying to make you think. That is God is. Yami choose say or dear we baby be fine. But onyankopon say aside miracles are me and century me nyame me dem ho de me pa me no me din de obie ni ho in time memorial or be mess up my name. That is what God is saying. And you know, so onyankopon say ni din no yen trongo bibi so a Christopher be insua de. So the difference between onyankopon din and crofo abuse the name. No man no me can crofo one step na me catch you, because if you believe set a tetragramaton or activating the amount there, na you gidie one step na ye ka edia, and you may show the main true meaning of the tetragramaton. Na de wire ma wo no abeye no me atra wo so ni wabusua so, which you must get rid of it. Memenia brepa, because yet it wo no obiaba no ka bibia no afan fofofo. You see what the church was about, let's say a century ago in the early 90s, you know. Now back church, the church was epitome of knowledge and wisdom. Na church it's the Azusa Street bano ena this spirit ni be wura na Jimmy ba ko a church ni ye ni say this spirit ni be wura mu ena eja knowledge ni wo ho, because Oko Cambridge, Oko Oxford started as a Methodist Bible school. In those days, now it was the church you educated. That is what the church is all about. Until the church educate, until the baby are there, sorry, we are not at school. One shrine at school, that one school of the shrine, that a bosom in school almost say, Adia. Bosom some Israel, when you're tuntum, bosom when you're white, bosom air spirit. Ye free assess some bosom nyene nti tie kasa obi o wa jimia to the point to say o kan bosom was ye na nanom. Now British for so Germany for so Belgium for so no mosom abosom was international worship obi asumbi and the kuro bia ehu se da bi ade na jimi nipa e sei nipa e bo nipa dam nti yan tumu and the kuro hu be bre eyi bosom film as a national worship. Now you can imagine, say Africa busuma ye woyi me ye fa adwene wa ha. Abrofo ne ba ha no mu ni sa power ni bi. Omo di tuo ni nyansa. E no omo di be daada obi a owo power. Obo di tuo no wa cheste. Jimi nkwa. Oko bani eduro bia nipa bi ahwe bia no obi ade nani ko bani ko pe voodoo, ko pe spells, ko pe enchantment. Ope kura here omo na ye destitute. Ye kind the book of Nahum. What practices are near or mine bo or mine say or mine tan or mine tumpong or mine timin koso. Bosonson is wicked towards people. You know. It you know, one more fine yame tetragramaton yameno. Tetragramaton yameno. I almost say a yamidino. Yamidino doesn't need help. There be now who is obi a friend Ajagurajah. Oh, it wasn't kunyami. And Kumasi ni besi go the heavens. Hey, Ninyakopon be activate God. Hey, when is blue and I say no cano omo yariana. Ni ye be activate tetragramaton. Tetragramaton ni yechi. Tetragramaton no nyame prekope. Now who is to activate God? The creator himself, who can activate him to work. Why ne bitime nyame no? The to me aye adwuma no de akoye adwuma. Who why? Who montrawa me who why na wodi na mi penam sie nimade ne ya bombom ne ya mpa bisua ne ya nyusu ya adwene ne ya mbisa questions intino ubenya bloggers a Jimmy form ni nyansa. I will say it plain as it is, because so what Jimmy na de no nimu a one of the things that characterizes media is to research and bring truth to your people. The pay Jimmy na mo so so because of muska credit. It is Tetragramaton, you can't touch it. A excellent name. To me, a dini to me, a dini any to me, to me, it is power, a power, the power of God. That is what it is. na kwabena ne aka akire say tetragramaton be activate na ma no ton tetragramaton me say I repeat say eye saa dia wo to bia ye no me say nye saa so na ye occultism eye wicca, the practice of wicca, and what they send also their bra also dia, and now I can confidently tell you without any reservation say one ma wone wo any insuman na nyampam she na mo ko na mo practice niam bi mo ka say for free, nothing in free o she ye nananom no dwom ti kosi abusumase emambusua ye ho antoye nta abusua bi wo ho awonim abusua bi wo ho yare nko a abusua bi wo haw ene baabi a ye nananom di enti kosi ye boni ewo abusunsum nti no abusua enipa mienu free yefunu baakum baako timi de ne nua no ko se memo mu no masefo onye yeda ubeti ba ko ka che Kristo ni sofo se memo obi nye yi, because the church prospers, the church blesses, the church forgives, the church loves, the church is a place of peace. Ubetima kabisa afa abosom ho eti obi a oye rational na adwene ye adwuma bia no wonim de make safa ho, but ene no o mumu obi anyare de ene ne ye di ba bi yegine eti nipa no obu o sell hu sade a wo ye no emfiri nyame hu sade a wo ye no se enye se wo ye Kristo ni o nkwa asore unji nyame ni no problem, but bisa ho se wa adwene na wo de ye adwuma no ade a wo ye ntie ye enti so unye Kristo ni na so unji nyame ni na akoto Tetragramaton tukuma unzi wajimi, because nyame na wo unji ni ono ana wo so akoto no jini di free no so wo mpe okoto no de awaje jini die ne de wo so wo mpe na ni protection de wo pe ntu ko pe ni protection wa bo ho ban na wa asa ne ye no anadwo na amasem si obi die o sentie ye wo de nyame wo so a reject nyame se te ho fama me wo so wo ntem ho wo so ko wo ne ni man da wo fof na fa Tetragramaton no tukum na Onyankopon sa na ne suban tie enti asem na me ka kire odwene ho Onyame na wapono no Onyame na wo so wo mpe no enti ko petumi ya protect ho no obi a wo so wonyi nyame ni na Tetragramaton da ko bia, you are a fool because you believe in God. Nyame na wo de na tukum no say nyi say nyame no dia eni na eye wicca, then you have a covenant with the shrine, you have a covenant with other deities. Wo kura wonim eno ne beye no make a serious, because you should know enti yam practicing yam akwa hwade na me fa me nua no mbra. Dia mati ni. Mau lo mo ye. Trong lo mo ye. Man sa fanto na hwebio na hwese obi hundia hwedie ma me fan kwa chi na me pese o hwede mo ye ya fe hwedie etu se udru wa on no wa ye onsase na de amoja etu on hwo udru wa no wa ye onsase na de amoja ha also bro baba. That's right, fantastic. Introduce our no I say na dia moja no nipa baako oso ope protection tie wo ko dware wo ma ya hwede body nsuo petepete mo ho ɔse Tetragramaton kyerɛ sɛ ɛnneɛma wayɛ no eti nipa dasani o ti o wokɔ no egya wɔ hɔ ɛna waso no ma wo yɛ na sɛ wo de akigya no sɛ ya o etu hwɛ a boys no ɔn so de ɔmo yɛ no remember to but just a problem Uchi janepe na dia fa wanim uchi janepe na dia fa wanim ko daki o uchi janwa na dia fa wanim Apostle Broby oh also for Frisiana
asa I didn't freeze ma men call me Sandra.
Okay, all right. Meaning I want the be we. On 18 uchi jani say ya na dia fa wanim enti mi bisaw se dwene ho sense ma me ne wo kan no entro wo ba bia na bajaja say enti no se meti hayi se be di kan we hwi ni mo symbol bia de watumi bia wo be di kan ka kire wo eti obi di cross bi ma ana oba o say we tumi bia bam ma ye de bakoya akwankire guso eya abosonsom me ka kire wo tie eti ye nyame ye Kristo sumu no ye nye saa ontimi mfa nyame din ummu ade wo ho on respect ade enne asantini be se tete na tete na wo nipa bi ete se wo wutimi gina ho ese wa chi onyame de na sa hanka chipum ummu ade ti se ummu nyame entino the reason why the church is so prospering is because we have no respect for God. Bible says, fear the Lord. Upobia suonua ani huye hua before. Now why didn't you jumana? Usuro before said it. And I was obi come or your wine. What are you talking about? Upobia suono so be huye physical dread. I mean the word dread. Fear God. Who goes wine? Upobia suonua fear God. Oni na mani hu because anumrei obetima je onko afiri nsem nobody bu nsem betima kan wato nyame betima lift you up. Etinu memi tufo na mo amote ase no a ye ka asem kyerema mo ntie ena ye wo ya ena awo jealousy nipa no. How can you say set a Tetragramaton no e ya ade a wo bekọ tua ho ka and then the other was off. Oh, and then the Apostle Network in a day. Apostle Tim and Cancer cover you because we're freezy we're tree. I was your own common idea. It way say ya omo a ye janisino. Ufi said what I know about this guy, they say they be no play in the minds of the people. A dear friend to me onibi, a dear friend power, oni power. E bi ono akọ baby, e madachi no meka nwasem yakotete no am wakodi aduro kakra. But say obi o power. Number one, wodi boni power ban you be a fool to believe him because we are full of lies. Honhom na ntro enomudi. I'm talking about the exploitation. Those days Israel for no say we are there now to follow because asem na wo kan enye ono nkwa na nchire o de wo Bible nim no wo kan wabo word bi every Bible nim o say e onyame din tumi wom and was so activated din for man no fama and I say din it cannot be activated. It is Ajagurajah no wo kan minim say Ajagurajah bia ni ba bia e ne papa nsuman ye friend empra no de adwuma o de say empra no so na full of lies azan ntro ndada and o de mesmerizing nipa bi adwene. And one thing about Kabrensiamans onim kasa. Number two, where smart. The smartness or in the Bible talking about diabolical wisdom. Woodie nyansa ni dia obi. We treat your bloggers were paying way through Tony because we treat your bloggers car. She said what told bloggers be agene. Of course enslavement is better you know. Eye kwabene se metima to nipa bi agene. Amoma be din nchen. E no mo propagating ade because ekuru ne yetimu ne komwo ho. Na ye me won wase blogger so tia bruchire. No otimi to agene you are double fool. What Jimmy more? I'm telling you honestly. Me messy west cry because we be a commandant in your dada no or buy a commandant no. Untimi nko dada so person ne koda. Debi or born homodin will be on a semwa. Untimi mfasa or bani cheap. It is all tia bruchire na ubi. Na kakra wo nsem. Na won't so be oteshe ya oni she. Na blogger be a commandant no depending on and crofo no didi any the one the ebehu ne mobom po kakra because a commenting why the oil. Now who are the any commenting there? Then you are idiot. Me ni watem. Pacho dia se. Oye nyansani pa tenase o. Hwe. Obi ba ka jem se osof obi ane ni gidie. Eye Jimmy Kasa. Gidie bia wo nyina so. Ena gidie na ne sen, me gidie wo Yesu. Eye obi da bi, abuse obi da bi. Onso ni gidie wo de Ajagurajah o abuse me da bi, on abuse me da bi. Na Ajagurajah se de ene Yesu so se de. Enti de Yesu be ka che wo se ye no. Ene de Ajagurajah be ka che wo se ye no. Ana obi fufuro be ka che wo se ho na problem ne wo. Enti no Ajagurajah se obebo ho ban. Onu ne ntwe de gunu so na odwane. Na ntwe ni po sheki no kakra mi no odwane. Anso no be ka che wo se Tetragramaton da obi kom ye shutu no bullet na anko. You see, adwin no de di agro. No ton sade we de man krofo. No say bi obeka che wo say, munim bibia busuafo. Sofo niska, sofo ahia no, obompan ma akora enko ni ade. Ono aso no me koni fie na me hwefri ni papa ye wanted. Because ni papa de insuma na ye frɛ ne mpra no. E de be yes wo esunsum sori ni. Abusuafo tie o. Ni papa azaa o ye no. Ene ni papa misremo ni papa ma no momfa nche me nim atem na mo me kire ni panisu ene ono ase ni papa honhom na abanimu ni papa so oye on the run ontimi si Ghana enkofo report no ne ho sem doson ene ono ankasa so no na za ne tricks nti obeka to so onye D4 on the oya anya ho Bible nti obi oye nyansani bi o timi bi ne be hu say no something is wrong with this message etimu omo se mo nkwa asore asore ya za church is this modidi asore na tembebri no minimu ni problem mo choice na mmom most etimi koto Tetragramaton dum komudi it means you are highly ignorant. I repeat, you are highly ignorant because ade na wakoto no ade na ye de che ofri Tetragramaton wo se wo mpe na woni Kristosum ni asem wo mfa Yakobon God kwa won exist or a scam na obi ban so wa activate ni dia upe protection tini wakono akwaje sa nyame kro no ne yede ne ma for free no se obetena mu a obi antimi nya wo hwe no wood na nu wasem entronim yakan a kira wo ugini di oba British constitution ha metie ya ne ka kira wo say constitution ne say ya se wo ye hwan enya diwa na so because it is the truth. Ultimate sano. Onyankopon is higher than that. Ono way na asem untimi ntwanto. Into onyame so be protect wa. He keeps on protecting you from all evil. Me ho na masem no wono. From all evil. Na we opeso obu unti no. Enna wakofa on eye adwen adwuma. Me ba be kire mu da ache. Wakofa ne papa som no. Ene odi aba akombia ne ntro nanam konfo bia didi na dwuma ho nti konfo no tumi kakra bi di akani azanko a kofa petekosia bia kofa buburu onim se wunya bi no wa diska na waje mpatati ase eti enim sa ne man from the nti ono no ba wo so be ba oban a eye odwan moja no amma wakoto dwan no 18 million every year bia na say ko renew contract bi wo ho ansa no odwan ni bi every 3 months mu bi omto na ntwi every 6 months ade so kedi che free na de me yan say Tetragramaton o ka kire wo no enyi Yakobon tio because nyame no untimi mputu nyame ni in a chain na mmom ne ye wo ada esomo a omo fa Yakobon din no na akoyese divination na omo de aye enchantment na omo de omo honhom agina so because obi so deceive us ade ne nyame ontimi nka nche place enye nyame ontimi the only person I know I was so comfort the adwuma ye fen say kwaku bunsam enne nkrofo bi omso mafre mo asofo omu na ni kwaku bunsam na ye adwuma ene o madane o why can't they say yeah come yeah proud of what you are doing into moving on? That is point number 1. Point number 2, aden Ajagurajah onim say ne papa nsu man and what the ye adwuma ontimi nka nche me say nye no so wakase nye no ade a ene no no abie na no ka ye den enti se obi otimi bie na no twitwa mto na otimi gina asemudi na wo ye jimifo na wa adwene nya adwuma because ontimi trust will be on that level. No, life is about trust. Obi antro me, life is about trust. Bit about trusting Yakupon Annie. We bit about trusting Mac Aban. It depending how you see him. It won't mean you be nanty just like that. Man, you lose. But a lot of us, we are loose because Ubo Jesus is dear won't mean you view. And so people know about Jesus is no name Jesus or baby. Ufa Bible won't mean you view because whoso Bible to so yellow for. It would be for Bible now could that easily. Oh yeah, Herebaba. Won't mean you view because of cast we are Herebaba 2 year Christian. No, why in the open? Okay, Ajagurajah won't mean you view because of cast Ajagurajah a power. In wrong, young phone when you bring mystery, Jana, Baby, you know, or a mistake, and new yes, yeah, baby. Me sorry to say, foolish people follow mystical things. If we are not progressing, free mistake. No man is 15th, 16th century, and 21st century submarine in a more. Yeah, building a real and near my was sky in the heavens. And I bet your friends a mystic, a faith, another mystic ever. Are you that fool? Yes, Apostle Legend as well. Yes, Apostle video.
I think so. That some app I protect me devices not yes.
Oh, okay.
I disable none.
Aha, fantastic. Naboko there.
Nyame adom boko. Na where?
Nyame adom. Ebiso.
Ya phone na telephone nyina, nyame show ya.
Ah, wonderful. Ebusiafo, oso bro bi so chia obi a o. Bibia da di kama pa. About Tetragramaton. No so.
You have done justice to the subject, so there is nothing more I would want to add because watch it Tetragramaton ade now clearly utie Ajagurajah ni nwana a strategy that has been used over the years ye dey boom crofo a ma dwen from efa so eno an omo ye bi obi a ye bi ntimi na na trade unsu suasua obehunu ye. Oh, also very easy. Hand and once so a park will be an no drink a crown or tower. No, all can or jihun, no can be goom. That a catch or set a Tetragramaton crown, or language or Tekasebi. Tetragramaton no is supposed to be God's name. Was it? Sa symbol no, there yes a ring go say necklace no they mount. A Tekasa. Sakasa na Ajagurajah, your training the man at Sakasa na Sinobianim. Ajagurajah na Sakasa no. And Ajagurajah ne nim Nyankopon dino say here moja. This is a child dry moja. And now Namtria moja de busa, so ring so and Sunday activate Nyamidino. And Ajagurajah Nyame reason one and activity say Nyamidino. In the power material say ye that time no. And now we have protection when you need chair. Why are people allowing this kind of things to go on?
As of Tetragramaton, and I chain near the 2 community chain. Say no source of protection, and no self friendly Tetragramaton.
Protection from what? Where they are, and I open protection. Said the Osikai. Nyankopon now Tetragramaton now what they are ring other two some. What didn't deal bet now? And what the ring here? Nyamina better me was a ring and a necklace. May they quite. Uko our center, we have to tell me, bro.
There's often in Naria Hosem. Was that Timika say? Tetragramaton, no, the idea be it me say. It was so cotton. Intina say Yami, why spy? They say, and some of can conform in whom. a din tetragramaton, a chain, a spirit, make us a spirit, a god one kasa. And there is no word that they are describing yame.
Your day or hey, his name is here. Nyankopon Dino. Eno abetina Nyankopon abetina what you must say so ye Christo ni dia. Gidi se nyame abetina mu. You don't need a necklace to protect you. You don't need a ring to protect you. Because any pakrona was it necklace and ring and protect you. Bosumi be Obasan catch us be jare Obasan catch us a branofa black so robos or whatever no. On fan cover, that's what cover no protect you. And the protection no levels. The baba na jimu be office between the bua fasubian. No or yaba. Nti ada baba na dwum se yemfa ade oya so boache ene yenye omode kovo do magimi o seti me kasa na waka biagum me kasa na waka biagum de ne yemfa ino na chechire omo sa ne aka atom se akovo om eno anu no akopɛ ade black no no de abegyina no aye ne ma hu tu gyina ho a na wonim nyame a na wonye obi a wadwen no wodwe kwa akire na ayam hyehyew as a spirit
as of ye mystical people.
Superstitious belief systems na ya why dream no tu tina ho no the pine what the so gu pan mu no the second bomb no or shija kakra no asaka kakra tu tina ho hey akwai o invoke some spirits be hwe ni ho woni hu your one ono for the protection
abusiafo asem so brebe kan o ye kan actual emphatic say oni hui de owo no te se de emre bi obotan be ka kire ye no so omu ni hwi o omu kokoji nsuman to protect themselves kakra bi ni ente na also Abraham bi Moshe kura say apart from the common sense o koji nsuman o de bo no ho bai
Ajagurajah ne tu no fo
eti no
radio so ba ko no secret me bo ho bai ti go opa ma me nchiro ba bi na ko na so go bo ho bai
ena Abraham bi Moshe so obi also the common sense here adwuma no ono so kopɛ kakra so wo de ebo no ho ban eti ye de wo kopɛ wo ene ye ka kire wo no but ono ankasa de oni hwi ni kutreyem eti niema na wo ye no ya comfort style no a obemo ye everyday bia wo bibi obeka se ye
wadan fu ya obo ni video enye ona say abofo ni bi abodam bitimi bodam bi abofo bi ona
video me board next time osibofo bi wo ho ba de na komanye
obofo ni bi akomanye bi so adwene nye enti wa hwe ya ko follow na abekọ akọ udo mbekọ akọ to trouble mu enti Ajagurajah akọ ibofo yo so de na adwuma na adwene nye obofo we na adwene nye bibia wo church akwa no so wonfa nkire nkrofo mo nya a wo yem uti hu sa na adwene nye na eno na yetu Ghana fofo a omo a osimo omo ba de no so na omo ba ye omo so omo de omo ho akọhye ade na wo yim no ompese obi beka chance ade na wo yim no wo jimi enti oba ontie de wo ka no fitin ya no odi atem no attack ba wo so kranti ne ye de because una do ho akọhye bibi mu da ache no enwe wiye
also Onyankopon say he will not hold anyone guiltless of misusing his name.
Absolutely.
Entine hu eti say ye gidie no so de nyame din ye wo saa e na wo so wuti sika akotobi so okoto nyame ono wo gina ho no upon based on that scripture no ono a ye curse in itself tio based on that
curse on fa ho no
wo ye no me na ntu wo tram wo de no me na ba be sign wo sign
what one day what na wa no who said peacocks no kototo e no omune na wa no mo ko boss hey watch it peacocks e betimi agi nkrofo pa o yenye nkanche nkrofo so mo tobi mra na entutu omudi enti wo de ni kan fa ba ko to peacock boache ti omo ba ye ya so na aka to se hwe peacock we wo de boache asiama ni ana mde ne to me ho na mama ye meanwhile no wadi ka ne ma bebrate wo se ma o ye o ahwede ma o ye o wi ayina
sugar cane na ahwede be de
all these things are true o wi a wasan be ka to se peacock e ti no be ka to se perfume ade ti o se flower ade ti na o the desert so anya kakra And today, a lot of solutions for one problem.
For the same problem
The same problem, no, here no. Oh, here crow I'm manipa, ebia drink me bodam. So here crow problem, no. Or so many solutions at Ajagurajah. I'm amazed at the solutions at Ajagurajah. Oh, here, who Ghana.
Any protection,
Oh, here, any protection, pa, who country.
Bay 200.
Oh, bet 200. 200 nina solve here problem. To a hell anymore. Nasa oh and Monyanka crow and man, all the perfume. So I knew your mola as I call what Jimmy. Yampa who they be man away.
That's all. The Timmy one to say, Ocean Senya okay, on the watching us on one a partner in crime. Almost said, man. It will not call Dubai trying the plane ticket or call holidays because on one call holidays that. Because ni papa bu nkrofo yin na eche on the papa ti ado ahoma so. Next time we will talk about it. It on wa patanse no tie. E na wo the blogger momoa me na ye be sa. E na wo de ache nkrofo bi dogon. Nti for the first time on nya sika kakra so okọ Dubai. Okoye shopping. Atoto ne ma kama e de ama no ho. Dressing nice. Oba no say ma be boka o. Sika mi chinchin nkrofo me de ma adwendie ma boka. One also for fun from watch it near bedding. Watch it. I say, until bedding. Watch it say, bra. Now, you be ever say, or say, Mummy and Pibby being who say, a bra, papa, no, who say, papa say, who tear from them, foot, echo, son, and Asia here. Now, or say, power womb, now, or ya jiska, because never paid you man away, or son, and Asia here.
So in Africa, no man on Kakra.
Aye, ne papa djuma no nti yenye den o se ne yenyu su Dubai ahwe nan
that's it no so anwan so call ekra ma so twetwa picture bi o ene so anwan mi break ba wo de perfume bia wo no kakra na no ano ne de kwa ni
no ma san hwea eno anso de Ajagurajah be rap ade no eno so for say what wow Ajagurajah say community am say what wow na shake a wo Dubai e fa phone no frɛ no e wi ase pa se wo jimi ni patuntuma afu was he shake would you buy Tony is a friend no crossing cramming caught me quite dang shake them quite dang so to an Ajagurajah be born cow men am the cushion shake him so on frown into no more than a call. Me more video there. As I make a video do how oh yeah me excuse you when I'm in friendship. What's what gas uncle? Also, gas uncle, a one Ajagurajah say, Count, now wait till I catch a shake this will invite you. No, walk as such any pow, and young cocuyo yan nay, a nipa. No more to no mutie, no see to could do and a shake in the car say, Ajagurajah catch and was uncle sat and Riano, or the no call baby coach any special. Me pacho akosia agin frimpom me pacho enye joke asema me kan enye joke video ni wa hapa me bo ache no ati ya ye joke wa ho asema ni sa na okan enye joke
maintain
oh also for ke bia mo ma me mo na aditi me ai na enkofo nti asema na ye kana nyese obi wo beka say wa hyeda na wo kan asema editi me mu video also pacho ye kasa na me hwe video no
whatever because so was it shake pan a friend and then call special place or desert and so
aye
no to me and go for call abrochire kobo bra to turn ya aba Ghana e ko sua nyansa or call and can be a buildings here in Dubai no share not at least
in just of the pacho
abroad in horizon kakra
as a video now ready we mean to be found that this is free so it's pacho mo kan munti me pese uti asem na wo kan don't men hwe we tie asem na wo kan no e baba 3-4 minutes into tie
put up to that's a time here and the perfume so much perfume money me the best fra ko sia da me yebi ma nkrofo wo de ba ya wonsam no man na wo 30 minutes aka chere o mfa nka wonsam and you can say 30 minutes e jawo say ya was a random missing can yet say desert yania Tokro be them in some BSC. Now, bring him a million. So I get chat for your one. Men you captain those in one do talk. Baba Yeke. Why, Mada? Papa, that any more be a Madahati. This is the perfume. Yeah, they fra aniano. Wait. Very expensive perfume. I know they fra aniano. And they are normal. Would you have come on some for 30 minutes? Who counts anymore? Who counts anymore? I say, Fabra, it is because of this. That is why I traveled. Wait, I didn't wait them to Kakashek and invite him and come and go. I wanted a chance to get it. Or say, Siamania, desert Namia. Also, Miss Miakongo, sending Kakra. To be beside the idea to go some point and desert. Was in Puanoania Yakotor to go at it in the same way goes on to go now. Desert. The desert, the Shadako baby, and town fat. And you keep webby. Somebody ever told you to be a winner be intino, will be a better Tuesday. Wouldn't the interior better Tuesday get prepare because Tuesday on a good over that day it is rest assured and got the only Bema Bedana or Babetta. Seven with my son, you may be human. You are contributing what you will take a month for better. I didn't. Someone other sent warn someone. It attracts money. Sister, Ninyan the beautiful. Me person can fan say, come by ye, Ajagurajah members who beer kutan right. Ya pause no beer to the car. No being count as a seven to say, my left the customer make care by a man. The person bring ye till ye. Who the tell me Yabreno? Me birthday ba. Me birthday bell was some for me chamat yet. That's also me a crying man for follow me ya. So to become. Comfort to come to Crony Ma. Every guy on forum. A young European yard here. You are near the yard here. And then desert. 1980. The Arabians were nobody. They were just nomads. They were living on the desert. They had nothing. But look at today. They are one of the richest people in the world. Why? They were able to utilize their sand. Bibi wa yom ade ke bibi wa yom ade ade di bo hwe obia na go ponche ani bia o ma de fa de so ade ntia ansana Abraham nyame be hia no o se firi waja no na fie na ko Kena so ko be fa de so man say firi Misrim na ever fire what is that for na ever o don fire bon sabga go so ye so ahwe no Bible so de ko he esre so o de ko desert so ko so no hwe I'm not just Bele Pele Jacuno. Bible saw the name Stresso. Legend can call Stresso. And there is something in this. The people was happy with him. Wait. The man sabi be crabby. Was a grofona come and fama. And you be Yaquan. And you say, Muhu. A two pagans are saying that they're great and Gupon. Mammy Sika. And yet it's sad, you need to mean kind. Which we are a Mexican means some two group yes, a church means some be a fellow. O se kaka Tokrobama, Uncle Failing. Oh, failing. Miss Tokrobas, Uncle Failing. So to the feeling, some to crocodile and look out for feeling some to cool. So far, I just want to cool. Then I am see to chrono. So I didn't some bar. You better sleep over. And I dribble your green ram. Ya head ye beye. What damn my diachi. A bon na ya starting Bible. A bot for remember break. We are connected at 3. Yes, I resume. Compliment number 6 after we are moving. Because this is the last program I hear. December, I sorry. If you are blowing your sorry, and you are here. Yeah, December 26th, 25th, 26th, yeah, sorry. If you are here, I'm here, check it first all night.
About the Bajoti.
Mete Pazo. Very sad. Hey. Oh.
I've a Musahosi in Chantru.
Very sad, was awful.
It was Uncle Casonco. Casonco. Shaking the friend of Casonco.
Casonco is a desert and Yana Uhiano. And until no call all the way to Dubai.
Aha.
Our coffee there's a Swania or the Bagana for.
Because
in the Mali desert and then Libya then and the
so say ometima utilize your mahwiano because a hon say hon say o mahwiane o microphone ko toilet in see hon ade e clean ahwia
say that's a Swania and you know
aye
say and omoko ke na mo fa desert so na ho person use biblical narratives
also so one say o ye microphone
so we are friend mystical manipulation manipulation coercive persuasion or coercing microphone no control. You have to create an environment conducive. I'll bet me a brainwashing microphobia so that they buy into whatever you
say. It just off me pacho omo a anti bloggers omo hu say video we ya.
The bloggers, no majority of them also for omo you sell out. Ono on Ghana you open ya funu ye. On na funu nam. Enti wutimi satisfy na fua. Bible say a man's belly shall be satisfied by the fruit of his lips. When a man's money will satisfy the man's belly. A man's money will satisfy the belly. Until they need ubetimi afidi no dia. No man is kaka crowd ya to no ho. Your person on your be obey. Until at the end of the day, the amount of people are almost life ever say, almost families ever say, almost worry ever go. Almost a dark thing in our ever say, because once you destroy, yes, it's a who educate one person, who person who solve the problem of poverty. Who the Busian be a picking up by connecting me educating ye. Sani Pani by engineer, medical doctor, and I'll be a professional be that here, and our business executive and our politician be a. Obet me a change the fortunes of the entire family. In the same way, if you want to destroy a family, miseducate them, brainwash them, manipulate them, control them. Who we are now, what you saw more the mind open. Who you see no none man so no so feel so useless. Then one generation after generation, ubewana bushani na useless. This is how serious these things are. And the same person now, no person Ghana, a better Ghana. I would be correct me shout too aloud. All these bloggers, face Ghana. Fixing Ghana will mean fixing the mindset of the people. Now, who we say and fixing Ghana now who can for beer or send crofwagina. You are the one that is destroying Ghana.
No so say wo somo me ni problem e wo gidi akura wo e wo choice e na wo de wo pe e na wo ye but ntie mi say ye ho say we enye gidi choice e na wo mkeke nye sa nka wo ntimi meka say ye find say opambo eton kusu akoko edu be criticize opambo untimi me criticize wo su be mpa so ahye ne nkom because we ne som no o dey say ne som ne sa na ka kire no anka wontimi nka na asem because I ne some no.
Yeah, so no this small
exactly.
You branches.
It is a nipa som na wa hwe nipa da also for timi mo gina se kan so na was a sensuo go mo ye mo tan de omu ni nine ne name so protect wo mo ko na nimu a wo mo abu kotodwe awe asa akwa kodu no ho wo mo kodu no wa sensuo go mo ho for protection. That same service now.
My question is that I know one I sit at Tetragramaton or being the man we now the two coma, we are protected.
Aye.
You know, so pendant.
Yeah.
Now, what the and where we are, in so now they go who protected on the Sikana Wijinasono. And also, what kind of protection is that?
So, I thought what Timmy San near my good a pampine. No more child was on here.
My one. After say, or on one cassette catcher said, Tetragramaton and a pendant now what time on that to come and judgment. Jimmy. The day of the catcher was a Sambra named Jaro. Sambra and first will be pitted some more human. Sad day no. As I didn't doubt when we took an just or a nickel. Now who's Jimmy? because China obeka trust ko farmer me mo jabra no farm protect. Because bibia beba na dream bia no betimi dia agi sika free on check. And bia tools no obeye. It's all about way psychological or something.
Oh, what's up? Yes, who's on? If we are seeing home, Senipe ya de na nya. Now can and now can I say no? More popular, of course. Ye has ye so ye popular. Ye person ni pay na who kwa benesia must we ni bonini. Because obi timi ko repo obi na Ghana adom FM fo asom no maboni pa krodin obi timi ye bone Taliban fo bi de ade so no makobla akobombi baabi and I kaida for ni e do want to BBC News oye popular
Pablo Escobar onya popular El Chapo onya popular
what's up even Jim Jones the crowd oye popular Jim Jones
popular
very popular and you know you be make you popular ni amani pe hu say akwa we your friend kwabene siama ni nyuma dia wodi
the most popular armed robber in Ghana
atai ana
exactly
obi anim no
say atai into how popular ninti no na che say Ghana farmer na popular nti bibia oye bia
aha kwadwon kansa say saa de no mo de so no say friend yawa eno na shrine for nso use yawa no
yeah
aha bom eti popular de ye mission no and ye kwado mo kan ye mission say person ye popular na Ghana fo ina antenenka ti ye obi wa friend kwabena siama na saa kwabena siama no ono no Ghana fo ina ofisa mo adwene nye mo ye jimi fo mo nim nyansa ono no so akosia obi ye friend Ajagurajah eno so mo mbra no mo ho ban ekwan odi nipa fa so ni nti ye di adwuma ye no ye pese obi a wo mu ofia bia timi hunu sai nipa we de wo sifate ye pe bigger platform kran ya boni dede am obi ate Ajagurajah ye pese obi a wo wiase bia hu eye kwabena siama boni a odi nipa fa so
Portugal ho no free no nti obetimi akọ fathers and so anwa da command for Portugal after Ghana for no ye de adwumi
what's up
obafo ye odi ne adwuma so free Portugal
what's up anything a person popular also for free Portugal unim say o free your friends say o free bibia ni aboabo honhom ro free bibia ni aboabo
let's give him the benefit of the doubt Ajagurajah free Portugal Portugal ho na no free na ye wo no se ho na em say ye wo abofo ogu e ho na free no e ho no asofo mo no ko fathers so anwe free Dubai e de ko ya kwantre Portugal
da bi o on ka bi nchiro mo da
on ka bi nchiro mo da no oba Ghana esan so mo colonize into mo fi say yes ye da so ayem kwa ye jimi
un se da bi abrofo no mu gu Portugal ho no un so mo no mo ko Dubai nko sa hwan hwan ye fa nya akwantre bia o mo nya hwede so
e bi not Ajagurajah na no fi Portugal ba ye no se on oji say ye bi before ye nkwasiafo
se un se colonization spirit ni mu dada
na wo obofo a we
etu colonize wa adwene no because bofo ba bia ni kuro mu wofo no omo nwe ahwede onfa butamu nso mu nsese ngu omo ho omo mu nkogina sekan so bofo no onfa perfume mfa wo omo ho onkoto pikokoma bofo de nye san kire Portugal fo no
racist we na ye ne be yedma Ghana obofo racist ono adwuma oye Ghana no kwase adwuma we wanye bi won krom Portugal Ghana and officer ya jimi ya nkwa enti no
so say ne ho kire ye niska ye ya ho kire nti na wo ye sa nti obese ye yi etu hwa hwede so hwede ye de eti no so wo wi ahwede egu mu a na abe yi ye ya bra bonye ya bra botantantan nti oba ye no na so opese nti na oba no call Dubai ko sa hwa ahia
to ni krom Portugal hia phone o
ka bi o ho de
hia phone Portugal bebre they are
o bebre o mguo
bebre na wantimi anya kwantra momo a enya racism na ya Ajagurajah ufru krom Portugal ana obeto ahwede amayo Ghana
see the ahwede ne tonton wo so see adwuma no ye to ahwede ya wi ahwede
ne wi ahwede a na me anwe ahwede
Portugal ono mo nwi ahwede o
ye nhia wo slave master ana beba be ka che se anwe ahwede obafo awe racist ye nhia o Ghana esa Ghana for deport no
na say ye abrofo bi ye racist kire ya na ye buafu wo mo ne ade sa fa mu bufu abrofo no so no mo no mo bom mo nsem Ajagurajah yo
esa mo deport no so ye nhia za obafo we racist ye nhia ne Ghana Obofo a obema nkrofo de anya access to omsem hwehwe nsu agu nkrofo so abehye nema sa abofo we odi jimi no de bagana
na da bi na bofo no e de minti ase ne se ne awokan no yesi kire me yonko na minchi osuban na tesi nyame che na bofo ya ba no obewura kwabena siama mu na osi the friend is saying jama miska jabo ame na omo kachi Ajagurajah ma miska Ajagurajah ne jano nti jama miska jabo am na hwele wi omo chante jama miska jabo ame oso fo anfa ma wo mu
wan faska na mo
na ko de mo ko besa so na Dubai
na o ko Dubai ne ba kra so san ya another country
de do ko Dubai ne ba na no so no anya na o se afia be she peacocks ni
wa she
because Ajagurajah buy oga se omunya jabo am jama miska no owie no so mo problems no obi ankoto nsuo otu nsuo no koso na ehwe na epaya wo problem na paya firi obeyi oso fo mo totoyi
so na amfa
da bi amfa eno owie osade stamina so obi o ha na ya chechire o manim ya de niam akata o manim for wo stamina o ma wo do huru o manim ena Ajagurajah ye wo free Portugal broni bofo no obaye ena o ka che no Ghana for tuntumfo no a blacks no om de fa o manim oso fo amfa da bi amfa
ena o sa ko introduce flower bi ena so kra jama amfa
ena so sa ko introduce flower o se flower bi o ho a esifi ama uyeye attract om ko duadua amfa
akọ ya se ati no ja ozo fo to bi antimi report say
ozo fre eyi bofo no ba ko so de obaye no o se omo ho ye fi sunsumu no omo ho nye omo nyina yie eti aje se omo kopeta wo white no mu na de pepa omo ho ena nkofo di ta wo white fi fa omo ho scarf asa handkerchief white de form de fi fa omo nim ena o so ja wo nim ona o se Ajagurajah so omo fa ntum no omo nhye omo hu musuo ina osofo dipai a omo ye Ghana fo yo mu yetuntumi na broni bofo Ajagurajah ibae ena omo de ade ne fi fa omo nim fi fa omo hu ina ina me hu musuo me hoka me ye funa mi ntimi fa wo ma fei ba mra me so no omo ye no kogu jani osofo no so amfa
yeah achina ye be dan so na say obofo Ajagurajah o se Ghana for kra say mo magime dodo ene mo kono poison na ye ndey
osofo mbenom
say deport na say na BBS o
she Ghana for na fan World Cup o
na we kra say achina say na deport no ye chi no e de ne ko ye jeli ni kakra won sa wo mo a na ye deport no
na so sanse na ye kan no eno na media for ni promote no me ne na ma me papa chawon aya mo fan chemi say eto da de wi amekasa mo fan because ma mo hotimi ye me wanwa kese pass nkofo ye mambofu omo sori a omo bona na do achiebo na chi musi yi levi meme ye dia ho kireba but nkofo eje Ajagurajah spiritual yi levi spiritual yi levi jiji Ghana fo sunsun yi levi peacock hu yi levi o jiji wo mu du asema ye kan azabro be dia o isre mon cheba me minti ase osofo yes physical ye kotua bibi mo se da bia nye ne wodi obi so ma protection wodi semina dware wanim anyeye wo se Tetragramaton se eno no wo so pa na de me ya kwan se Tetragramaton so sa woni soap wo
ho Tetragramaton soap
oh yes
eno so ya de adwuma
eno so no sa protection sa de ko dware
you know ring and we need to be protected
ene obi o akoto ne semina obi dibia sa atunukom wasa to ne ring also fi nipa bibini ya adwene mu ne de enye kura o nwura o mu
ofo no nya John Disana
no so fi se bofo no nya John Disana yes so ye follow ni so
ana o so far from now bofo bibia bana dwuma no o ye de we de
also fi play me who me just say wo hwe ne niam na omo ye no ana na ye ti bloggers eti mo kwan ye fa so ye pesca e kwan fa so anke abrabo betumpon nti sa kwan na ni ana ana me minti ase no ni peso o kan nsem ni plain nti wo hwe kwan o fa so ogigi yi levi na wo hwe Ajagurajah wo gi yi levi no di kunu botom yi levi no no twi bens yi levi no di si adan yi levi no di ye no ye yi levi wa fira patana se no nkofo ennan also for nya asam ketua o Toscas ni mole no oh well o man bandre kra o we on na do bra wo bre for yi levi na do on bra wo bre we wa mre o oh we no ani ye fen say nsuo kakra ohwegu omo ano mutua o mre o ebu aburo kirefo obi free UK ha free ha de hia yese obekum na ntwi na so ye aduane obi free UK ha sei ekodi aduane ni bi
okodi aduane ni bi
na yi levi na chero odidi wie ya na yi levi na chero
David osofo
America for obi timi twa plane ticket from America adan ya okọ no yakodware no osofo serious
o baf kesiesi ni dem o kwa ma Ajagurajah kodware na patana se
obi wo jacuzzi won ho nice one on fie o see open protection nipe wo so onko asore ono asore ye scan enso Tetragramaton no ye nyame na wo so ye scan na ye de chi ni free se nyame ne metra ni nipa dua mu no so on pe no opede di ni soap ebe dware no
wi awa
ko ya so ko twa adwan yi levi a chero
and we are a man peacock yes on top peacock back
oti America se abrempon na yen peacock Ajagurajah papa kra wa yen peacock ne nana yen peacock ne nana a wo su kra nsuman no so for wa yen peacock
so for ade na o yen nyina na Portuguese engine na catch na ono am so no do na adwe bunko for baso
se also Ajagurajah yi levi no adwene o Onse Ghana ban tenase no say there be say baby o man na duru ne hieska ne de ayade ana also meboa
pepe
nti odwene ye no say okay ene 1.75 no si etimi gigi free Ghana for ho ne sa ne man ebe bo o man no am yetimi akoso nti Ajagurajah kwabene se man so hu se and also employ spiritual yi levi ono ne yi levi no e fa nantwiem e fa peacocksim e fa Tetragramaton mu chain no e fa Tetragramaton soap mu enti yi levi ne ho no de atotototo eno mu twa omu de enti omu yi levi ne de afufufu o amre
I see enti ono no de ane de we no de obofo no kan ye no ebia wan fa kan ba we de one ne nua ayina na tena ase
de we want bofo na anti se omuto wonom se de bi o se pe kwan bi so a ye be je nkrofo yi sei no nyame ada roma onyame kro no so on ni nyame no friends say ni nyame no mudi na chi no insuman no impra da roma ena omodi sika ketua bi na me ti so mo kan omutim so omunim se na bloggers na efo sa fofole
ande o meka pa
oni wi man trase ya omutimi omo janga na ganja na o se Sadia ni ebre awuzan grofo na omagibisa kwabena na buachi ni se kwabena we etia ni ebre na ukoye charismatic na so be here baba na charis ebre nko a ye fa ye papa adwuma yi wo hu de we he ese nkrofo yi omagye di na me ka se nkrofo mo fifi platina wa betra UK oso hade en kade kesi fifi plato bi a wotra UK wo ye ration adwuma bi no saka krai wo beje wo moje
on the per watch me man
kakra bi
watch expensive watch
no omu promote yen unso omu platform ne soso nto omu promote yen sa no a mole fo no so wa bruche nso omu suro so mbegu omu krofo bi de omu yi omu dro ofie enti ye henya ho ni mu ne kan na omu fresh omu boho because eno na ho na spiritual yi levi na Ajagurajah yi levi apostle man said say obi entro bi mame Ajagurajah levi obi Ajagurajah asema ye ke on me ye pese badwene matrase because on he obanya mimu a your protection is in the Lord and one no Bible said do unua ya de papa ye ntua huska menu obi ho danse krumu ye nyi huska ene obi ntrase tra papa ye nyi huska na ewade se mi nhira ono ni se mu nhira ne mani pa ye odefo asem papa nko a we obeba osi bedware osi mi dwaaw osi mi dwaaw usu de mi yenso so omom ko dwa no so bi e 60 years o
And we are trying to say the Jaro fear now, says, me, I'm in Thomas.
And minim protection kwa wonya ye from that ye 101. I would do 2, I would do 3. Ah, what me di 40 years. Minima di protected no and then the end so be me didn't want to say.
What catch wrong say? Yenny and Tim Muni Amasi. Obi on original humuno. What to make a chat demon picture? No, they are better.
There be also
no, Ajagurajah and Quant me trap it at the Terenipa.
no so here physically.
Problem.
Also for here physically. Apostle Ban so the emphasis on physical. Kojo Nyansani physical, Katimendes physical. Also at least yetime dimfie kakra we asase so anameboa.
Absolutely.
Ye na idea me bubu me giri se na ye twam 30.
Absolutely.
Ejeri idea ne so ye muma ye di 30 years was asase. Also 30 years 365 days times 30 obi omontwom mame. Obi for 365 days times 30 ni how many days awo wadi was asase so. Omunya the fast man, we the fast man. I'm fan to my 10. Also 365 you already 30 years no times 30. Then every day biana na wunware ye no. Every day biana na ye mfa nsuo mu no. Every day biana na wonkoji sanema no. E de na na protect wa wetimenya 30 years.
A good question also. A good question. And I said now we need protection as in what?
There be also for 30 years na wadi no. Na wo fie for be focus strike na.
There be am say no
Mercy appear say 10,950. Hey, what's up?
10,950 days.
10,000. And what the 30 years away do assassin so.
Because 10,000 10,000 days no. Obi a waste mobile 5,000.
Hey.
5,000 original Ajagurajah ho job wa me German sikasa Jimmy sa na 5,000 days no.
People go say we dey anyere hu you. Me say the calculation be come anim kakra. 10,950 days no. Me pacho munye equal to 30 years my. Me pacho ene ye ade kakra wa ha. Munye equal to 30 years my. Na munye 40 dey my. So obi adi 40 a on 365 times 40. Now the my no so 40 years. Now munye 50 dey my up to 30, 40, 50. It yenya 30 dey enti me pacho munye in terms of 30 no 10,950 days. Na be for no way.
Aba for no ko live.
Na fie nsuma way.
Almost no ko live.
Na ahonhom eku nipa sai nipa no mo way.
Almost ko live.
Enti den na che so wunya 10,950. Ne yenye wo se santom. Wo so santom. Na je say Ajagurajah mum enjimi wu sei ya, onjimi wa adwini sei. Ema wo meye mole ema de bia wo jimi sei na wo ye holo na de ade ready akobo mu na ye holo wonye holo what the 30 years it means which are 10,950
Ozafo
hey no mentias you
we are 10,950 no e mu ba 5,000 obi de ada na
what the ada
ena mu 5,000 ene e che na aka obi a spend mu be 2,000 Ajagurajah sorry them ho Jimmy nkwa na de egu ni tiri no
iye asemo
the 3,000 na aka no mfa me babra papa bia because asem nkwa na de be
that was it elimination by substitution because was of assembly mentias so okay Leslie plan just say 40 years and Messi appears to that was here 14,600 40 years. Hey, and you go for the now was as
40 years no so what calculate can you me say obi 5,000 or the e mo 4,000 what the yenchem or the 2,000 at to damis na worry e wa bontia the football watching is Man United Barcelona Chelsea
kasa
what the Chelsea ni Barcelona is 2,000 wa wesi no 2,000 aka no 3,000 or the 2,000 akojina Ajagurajah ho akojana ho amya training no de niema hu sa run training did aka no so hu nipa no de ode ni days ni ye ya ubo hu de aka no de ode be ye because what the enema junk and or the asha adwene and or the life and most of it has been spent sleeping or the adasa or the be adidi or the be adding some musa antino kakrana kana and ko de behwe no de atoto ne maye no eno no so akodane jabwa me jama me sika jabwa me because so one to two ne maye no one spend a lot of your days studying so obesua nyansa obe fantity bi mu a jabwa me ne just ma me sika na abekọ akoye eno na abekọ akoye because enema na ka sa wo de to kwam all these years now, ya calculate to 18,250 days. That's what the 50 years no. All these days now, would you know, every 24 hours, and then I would did an because the gift and Yankupon the man, we are seeing now the gift of time. Or my brony 24 hours, black man 24 hours. That is the gift. And I'm the man we are seeing pebia. And time is a currency. Maybe I'm a catching for time. It is a sika. You can waste time, you can spend time. Until you see the proof of love is the investment of time. Because if I invest my time with you, we are investing our time. Trusting and believing, say, and because we are investing or spending our time. Same time I am spending with you, no. Obi otia broche bia him said time is money. I can exchange my 1 hour for maybe 20 pounds, 25 pounds. My 1 hour now they are better now. I can exchange it for money. I can exchange 2 hours for 40 pounds. I can exchange 3 hours for 60 pounds. Because whatever I need, I have to trade my time for what I need, for what I want. That is what is going to make my money. And what a Ghana, what is Saudi Arabia, what is Somalia or Sudan, what you have been given by God as a gift is time. Whether you are the Queen of England or you are Jeff Bezos or you are Elon Musk, whoever you are, you have 24 hours. 24 hours, you know. What do you do with the time? And Crophobia calculated so the 8 hours better. With the 8 hours better, Juma. With the 8 hours, a bit now the bedi debate jarre. We know enough for being interactive. We know Bushan for being interactive. So 8 plus 8 plus 8 near 24. San and Crophobia calculating. But it doesn't have to be say regimented that way. Obiani how regulate the time. So if I look at the way you are spending your time today, I can predict the outcome of your life tomorrow. And me who Ghana niya was see Ajagurajah nebe buanu riase. Into the time when you made that channel, I was assistant. On Frankot na on the no. Ye ria yemfa hunre ranimu. Me who sa Ghana nina, I can predict the outcome of their lives in the next coming days.
Oh, Ozavo. In fact, Mera Hoka Crow. Because ye beba sa figures in a swan, phone call be a minya chira, me munipa crudin, I will never do nkomo. Ozavo says I answer my ye kano, a hard game papa. Abusia. Ozavo sama woken, I didn't want you may be new. Or then the wife at for decades, remember a number of the decades, maybe an obadi to say or no 7 years. Or then the wife at Tina for decades, as in S decades. Now, more a muscle multiple, let's say more than 2, to me more the actual figure, no, a more than 2. Also, BBC, a Momuko Ghana, or Bano, if you say, soon soon be bidinachi, and Okohum crow phoebe, and Omokachi say soon soon we as be bidinachi. Na papa is or catch and say, ah. Yeah, Christopher sorry, sans, I am a near my way. Jay Chiredi, na infam one for Subia Mrena. Etchin, you have near man in a beba. Also, to cut long story short, no. Mamma Fay Chira Kwame Yakutu to Semaguna Swa. I'm a neck, and Semana Bame Bia Cabemano. I'm a decades of marriage, and you see our Rujayaba.
Go
Waguno.
there be I can't say wait.
Oh, a tuba begina ha, no beki come some fun ha because our good and yes, my one. O bin in a year to kama. O claim we say when your problem be. Oko create problem at your show on nipa omuti omufie. Me fan say ka kodwo nyansani oni mercy appear to them kama. Well, mercy appear nya say kodwo ase na maka no kodwo nyansani no mo be fa ho afrefre mu hu. We nye divine connection. Because also for ba ne kan ntie bia wo hu bi me pa cho bi hu he. Na omo etikama na obi afa akire so na meche no obi afa akire abetwa prophecy abeka nsem na me nti ase sande ma netimi hama koma osofo ba ku bi so a ebeto manim one na yira tena 35 years mukura nkola 4 osofo 35 years kwa nkola 4 chala time bi be ka kire omo say ohun se papa ne kwa kodi ade no kodi ade obekum ne yere no eno ana no oba ne se oja aware ah
35 years.
Yes. So for ba ku bi so aminim no ono ankasa one ne kunu atena on so over 30 years sa so for oba ne free Europe and or the ba krum ha oba ne dwumo ye nye so for be man at least every month or €6 not their back in pounds. Anye be a crown or bro band be 500 to 600 be or more pounds. So ban if and waka also every month consistently. Or ban so pia bonting so kushia fortune tellers say suit says and will be the Nigerian catcher and say only bearman a japade bear money not over 30 years no bearman so kunu no fair japade into a banner bearman. So na say sika no edan no musu omusie no be ma na fia wanyina duru no o be ko pension o ba yiso ani afi atwam 60 o de dan na ye den o de ko hin o de dan na ko hin amma sika kura wo betena krum one be 2-3 years o de bro every month no ko betima boa no de ato asase mo de akonanim no na ye den na wutimi de wo hadwene oba watwam emepa chaw obi anya 60 years or so nimfie wodi na do say wasase so mo fa nto
10,950 ni bom
yes true
1,800 and 21,800 and something.
Hey ebusia for enye izo
no aro kan say obi oha.
Hey, also for 21,900. 80 when you fear 60 years, 21,000 a chilo, and not Marco 21,000 and what do assassin so. A fee and when you obia, unshiane da, unim ne da, ne da. What be catch us a bear mountain at Tina, or quite the Juma 7 and movie free, or noa ulumai. We brought £500, £600, £800 every month for 2-3 years. I won't to free in China Europe. No bear money 750 de bro. No could see obi our your bar or yonko bar. When you chain bear 20 years. A catcher will say ukum peso kum a famo dian. No bad what you could jay ukum. Oh, sign some funky cano and go for prophetic. Jimmy say and go for the say wagon. That is what I hate. Me hating with a passion because I dear won't ye. Obi abrabo mu asem, obi fie mu asem. Enye kura nti se payday what na ware ho. Na adwe mu clear. Be man so don penasem e bo no hoka. What timi e the divination ne ntro akowura obi aware mu aguru just like that. Ye be kan mo se ba mo yen kan ho asem.
Asemo.
So so sad.
And they are all over the place because Ajagurajah level no. For omo the astrology and so any horoscope a catching crop say because you have an F sign and this one has fire sign, this one has water or whatever, and you are not compatible. And no as a mon click no so mo enjaya it will be like that forever.
Now what to ho? Na Jana or the a recreational mystic. Na or the betchero. It wa onu kunute bema or kama no. He said the wo who say we water. It do when ya water and now we are fire. When ya fire now kunya say water which
Obedum
jam into also ni jai. Ah Nyakopon so bo se nipa se ni su ene ne ban so o de ahia no de bo wan fa jam o Bible so di jade ye fa ni say abofo obi gidie ni wagira so etimi ni ukuna jan a eno ne ma me catch so wagimi without any apology wagimi because the fact say odi obi gidie be ka asem na kire no doesn't mean say your reality. It's not your reality. Now obi ne oti recreational oti India no ya recreational no onum na ntwe dwonso a e kire say wa wote Ghana so konum na ntwe dwonso ana. Are you that stupid?
No so ana adam kan no na ntwe dwonso o pe bia no ma enje no just okoto 250.
Enya mayan kan e wo hoyi.
And then ntwe ye de ache na ye be kom na ukwa amekwa no bi kwa. Gade ne kunu wi adonso na o de kwa to the komayanka ukwa ya no aka to se me pa to mo ma bi no. Ye be ma bia no. And no just wako to $250. Now a cow peel.
Cow
Urine.
No cow urine. No one no. Somebody in syrup. No one no. Wabra fresh one. Organic. Organic. And in Namayanka omu so go free.
I go full and if we and I drink brand musa.
Well, go on what 20 Ghana be am full and in. So one time when you know Jones or Yanawaji.
On father uncle son or Melbourne.
No, what is it? Hot one.
What me crowd yeti?
Oko kan omo buafu and a jena and a jet. De be am kase nipa bibini. Obey honest and we are honest throughout. Obey honest. Try and be honest throughout. It adena ni pana ye nenye. So iti yekoka mo mienka na nipa dasani unu obi te kama unu ni problem nu obi create problem utu ba bi kama o mind your business nu obi abeka kire osofo ni ade afrika ni pa ni say we nipa dasani na Ajagurajah tibika so akọ Dubai na ba ho de eburu ma adwini so mitimi nti ase o
sure
na wa saka say esi ono abaye obrempon eti abra wonya saa peacocks no wa fra sie yeye eti wotima to ye wade
a pendant no aton de anya sika to cars peacock na man anya sika
nanka mutimi se osof you can imagine na okoni fie ho a na kodwo nyansani akoto peacock de ato ho no afre peacock no kodwo nyansani
Ajagurajah nim say the peacock na anya sika me say enko benya peacock asiama 1 peacock asiama 2 peacock asiama 3 ko beto sa be 30 na ko mo twa no ho ahia. If that is true
ebusia eno ne yesam ne ye kan opa wonya de obeye bia but me no me de bia me ka kire me ho say one thing that I refuse to do ni say we be manipulating my mind because adwene no ne contain bibia what I say me friend the processing machine aha ne wo whether you be good or bad the adwene ni hey
we are useless.
We are useless. It deals with the mind.
Yes, when you lose your mind, you lose everything. And the power obey force near maybe more lose I'm more lose the fact that you cannot process things rightly. You have to stay away from them. Because we are obey Jimmy Wagner. When Timmy I call Fabo for all the way from Portugal. And the number Ghana or buy no because I am going to better. Portugal hop out when him see I'm Fako to crew. When him go to crew. That's the car now or they to two. If in Portugal, almost farm na mechanizer in Omoye. The Hoya Nususa Sekani Biho. Or buy Ghana or the Sasekan or the Edgema.
Or they buy or Momujina second so.
Now, advanced country, Africa, and Kafaho technology in the bread. We don't buy a pint, any ya one are the best also uncle.
Odi ya one swa mo na boys and monyamfo mu twom saa na we dia koso we owia na odi nsuo na odi nkyene na odi niama niama bi agum na odi afa wani menua du nim dia be yew oh no wo say
wa anyu wa draw bi akra so wa jimi wa bring
also na make kai when you would demean any your strength to be a human being will humiliate you. Nipa woko 21st century also 21st century now ko huni nipa bi so we run a shrine no buko to dwe now we are wonanim no akwasa ni nsu ogu ho. This is slaving. The only person we kneel before is God. The reason why you kneel before God is that because he is God. He is the Tetragramaton. He can kill you at any time and lift you up at any time. So you kneel in respect to him because of say or your own master. Now when you put the sanity Bible said do not bow down to anything. Now koto dipano say watching ufra bruchire aba nka boga na nkoko dru no ho na wo koto no say de na yew Jena osoro so hyenkom na ayi Kofi TV adande wa anya ade Kofi wa anya ade Kofi uze me no me no ye good but wa anya ade osofo o kan wo mosem a no makofa bloggers ada be kan wo mosem pe na bloggers aba we say the next minute we try interview no mo church niam to do damage control. Now blog Nimako ye fine gentleman. I like you as a person, but that day we no and your cry massa. Me bo din straight away muncha hamfama. We a nice guy. Opel mine you pel mine nkoso. Your fight for asante mine perfect. O person nipa respect asante mine. No one who ko tumfo anim na se ye nipa se ye ntie. It's not just about life, it's not about food. Life is about respect. And to now, Nampacho na nimakuntu ko eno kachre we say Ajagurajah man perfume ni bi. Nti fafa won sem na onu wasefo be yi ana. Ukoji bi. Ukokoje Tetragramaton soap edi dware ye so obi bebo ho ban ana. Ukoy ekoto peacock e me ka chense peacock ye frani nimako. But you see, to do damage control, and this is cheap propaganda. I respect you that much, but what you did, and Kofobio Moshe rational being say this is cheap political propaganda. You don't succumb to something like that. Nobody hates Ajagurajah. Send any makutimi cast of what seminal. So for no, the friends winning, so you have no right to talk about him. But put me car so for some. I then away dear Numa so unimua as a journalist, no, as a broadcaster, and I say as a blogger, no, ye investigation. No what shame, no what she depending you dear OD. Now got town or rapid or better rapid no pay. Of course, and you have given him a medium to convince people, gullible people. Our people are gullible people to use your medium to sell Tetragramaton a wunim and the crop. Ube who say in your media young tongue into obey anything. Obey anything. And to mommy, nice, and Yamanaya, yano. No mummy, yai, a dian or promoter onion a diane, but a coin of us or ye diano. And will be any asem, but a nema or ye depending to Wankasa, we yamuma, and ye almost saying to. This is the truth we must tell ourselves as blacks. And yes, I ain't and this is not a war. Nimakon, this is not a fight. This is not say a Christopher and Debbie. This is about Ghana. So for ye and or the incofa diacro or buffer be jabba funku or pambo benjukusiakoa and yet. A bomb mine, a same mine or my mining tumpong. Sasu will be your comfort. So ye Jesus, one, so ye, your friend is saying, Ajagurajah, so ye Judah, so ye lion, or so I didn't know, and ya can't say, and yet. Remember, Mumma, ye catasum, you must so. Yes, and of course, said, we to me, the Anatoya Agenic to Abby. Because so called Binimwa, who Binim can show a lot of good things. Why Yaman for. Binim anya bia o hostel and afford them free of charge. obinim hwe nkrofo university. That doesn't make obinim say ade na wo ye ne ye.
The same thing above for the
Obofo check us.
Omunyina obi a on enema wo ye.
Your friend say Captain Smart sembre bi obi hu ko kire no e wo Europe baby ofre obofo brand 10,000 euros e de che nipa ko free of charge. Does that mean say the obofo ye no na because wa che obi $10,000 and a 10,000 euros and our 10 yema bebre ntie ye mumma ye nyan sa niema na ye no enye papa ye no nko ana ado ye ketua bi no obeye no no de abu de masses no odo o madwini begu atuam eno ho asem ne ye ka mumma ye mpe the liberation of our people.
Because cartel for strategies and every normal use also.
Exactly.
Uko krobia so a omo ye drug laws no.
Munyai.
Omo per political influence. Entemre bia omo disika no more support to campaigns in nema. All because they want to infiltrate into the politics. Said the beya ne hu onya asemo a politician ebe kan bia manunti. That's all they do. Until our country it is Mexico and in Colombia. Very difficult for them to truly deal with the drug problem, the drug menace. Because majority of their politicians are involved with all these drug laws.
So for sorry and apa. Bible says send your human. Anything. Oh, it will start free baby. Send your kwabnesiama. Or papa a boom crofo. No so about trust a human so on in no human. You money my protection. And no more did you crofo. As so for super bring your human and no musudin crofo. What do you say? And you know, the only thing we can do here is say, oh sorry, okoto you one, and kokoto you one, no I can't say no. Bra, oh sorry, soon sumuni ama oho, me share soon sumuni baby ada. Ya will be never woo, you will be odi 18 woo, will be at 12 woo, bebre. It minimo be of free soon sumo be kum or so called shall now cobre on hosa. What you need to do is say, so open or Bible, brown Bible, what they will do by we are zero, and they'll jam the cotton. Also, being in some of free, so brand never twan, and no answer was offer, and we are number one. Number two, what do ban or see ye, Juma, a Bian Chorame, work ye, Juma. A Juma ye legit, and yes, or better say. Now, do I get better to home? Now, I should never be no see and crowful win. Sabioma or more, a white dream. You're very superstitious, you're very mystical. It is my use mystic in Yama. Mamiko sia soon be 1 day kakra. Namifa near dinka cram fem. Nami sia casa. Namifa me boom crofo. That is all right.
Demand and supply.
Exactly, and you're right. But our job is to make sure, say, we will rationalize things. You be teaching crofo, you be educate them, you be empower them. Say you be a mistake, you know, you be free some mistake, and they do a level of knowing, say, Abraboni saying it here. And that should be education. Dika platform be a someone. Nanki ye can wasem, ni ye can wasem, sa. Nanka ni peti mi akomani. But enyamwa will be a sunsumini, no bano session, no basabasa, on your mujini tum, will be a so for the anamo bashen. And you're right. Oh, until me, yes, and your mana yeno. Na Ajagurajah dear Bonia would dim crofoni and trony azan because on him so the protection bia. He has nothing. And then be as a woman kusku and command you no are not helping. Uncle comes to be new yase. Why does it be new yase? Why does it be new yase? Because you are even a spirit yourself. Because when you're home the tumunti, why does it be new yase? But what to me, enya and not mako 15,000 on earth. Meaning, then it just say unya another 15,000 can so show up when we are. In
any environment, Biano, there were a near man crofo, near man crofo pa. The open soil business, me fan say, me area material. The first thing you do is to do feasibility studies. Remember, you study Nipano, a dear banner shop ben any area. Maybe I remember, maybe I any sense brace or any answer. And I see anyway, I know, even though other shops ever have, but we may not have this one. Now, what's up? Akuma now with him. So, Ebia, I have Kraman Shadani phone shop or her. And if I want to do business, the Ebini Hano, and I'm the bar many scale and on a demand be also. Now I saw for you any azan for your Ajagurajah and Crawford. A demand and supply. Omupa no my feasibility studies. It was all about no testing ground no. Men call charismatic and now me nyame papa the HD. Because me papa me din et no. Me who say bia odin se munu. Ya me nyaba ya mutu. Enya me nyaba kwa me nyama no ya mutu. Why wait you know. I don't want to go on that path. The moment try charismatic for any anyway. Or try and also there be sikanim. A honest sikano. Omuntia. And also my bed on a kababa we are no ko.
I said the same thing. I grad as okay. So Mukwasa Muntia, but on back conform Mutia.
Omutia, and to who says and on the sikanim. Then what do people want? Ghana for you now mentality be so obi do machi, obi bekono, obi yano. Now I know young warrior and Yenny Suban, name on bay for being a person seno. I can't to be no person to into Yamwa. Or more that mindset, that mentality, no. So I'm quote no one quote GBB will be what I'm farm on home by I want to be married. Want to mean yeah, Juma and succeed. Ebi on the school crowd on I want to be here. No, I catch also say, and near man happening in a BB and a dear trade now we on the neighbor. And then at Quamba soon a man croffer dear this said, me no was our solution. Because me talk, I'm selling a product, I'm offering a particular service. Some product now me turn. So we need to do my own talk. And the first thing, my own personality is the first thing I have to work on. Niankasana method drono. Esa me have a certain kind of personality bia and krofo humia no musro. And a Bible mukra Samson no unity. And tell them mamina metikuha. Mamina metikuha. Na me panta de hu bi she. Na me wiena me tiemu a mo bepo. Tinu ai no abegina o. Oba no abobọ ne ma bi Tetragramaton pendant one no keka abofo one kwa ba ko no bofo bi obo ndidi Abiasaboa was that angel
Hey, ya very say Ajagurajah so crack ba ko bi o o se the bofo ba ko your friend Zawan Tola
Toa is it Toa na Tola
so is it Tola or is it Toa?
And you know, no, I call pick sardine and what they make believe. Or my one GDB or Diana obeying. Once you believe in it, and one on worry, and Jaffe no the other can be a overfollow. And a demand one said society now, there is a demand for protection, there is a demand for money, quick money, there is a demand for marriages. Especially from a man, there is a demand for niba, and you know, product be a mess sell a mecasamede, met me am wow, met me am wawari, met me am what to coin, met me am wanyasika, met me a protetono, sa product no, semeton 10 million, 20 million, 30 million people will buy because there is a demand for it, and they are marketing.
So for me that's it. Apostle Jacob on Impacho, upon the saying.
Good evening. Good evening. Wait there, me baba poem.
Aye. Good evening. Hey, Francis Arthur say, also it because of the teachings from the pulpit, always projecting witches, demons, etc. That is the problem. I strongly agree with what you're saying. And then I don't think say Christians is our next time we can talk about that. I don't want the subject to change. And the next time we will hit on it because and then the one say those days are also for you be arena, not life lions. Near be some worship Jesus and now worship Jesus. Not Christians, omunya pastors, omunya prophets, omunya church elders. They were Christians. Oh, kekeno. The omu say omu etimi ebem omu ba na eja oma beden na ya hwe omu som de omu life beba Jesus and ne menim se benya bi organa
ye benya bi Yeah, uncrophobia may committed or something.
And the me master na me to be say ne minim se binya bi wɔ Africa ho de because ɛyɛ den what I say ɛyɛ den nti no next time we can do that as a teaching near when as uncrophobia de na ɛnɛ so de
Lawyer.
Lawyer Anderson.
Lawyer.
Hey, Azamu.
After I don't come baby.
Or say lawyers of Remy of Unity, guess Uncle Belly campaign at your LMLS. I was there. What's a catching?
Too much. Siara be room. Say Siara be room.
Fire 4 books and then soon to read a check. As I know.
That's it. Also, will be all your research is in lawyer for.
Oh.
Yeah, because research they are so much on point. So as you see, I maybe meet you and I will how drug dealers infiltrate politics in the southern part of America, and it's true. We have Pablo Escobar say, "I can't crave no better than a president no born too." It's a honor no a do papa where those that part of Americas now and they do papa. What mean to drug us? Because of Sankophona are infiltrate. Omakwa say charlatans now my infiltrate our system no. And I say a year before no the titune Ghana on aboson some do na edit here no. Once okwabusu bi mu a okokro bi so fie bia bosu sim. It's aboson sum na fie edit here no. The first time I meet Cape Coast in 1989 there about my first myself of Cape Coast. If you be a street in China, baby kukure be so near the Kurebu to so. If you be an abosum in China, baby. It's aboson sumnoa. Yedit tea and intino. Say, Obi a bibia, no person not being a beating nipa. No Jimmy cat, no a cockle rim, no a pea, no a becca bibi. It's a deal band a simple cry, and it is a who from a buswan, no a costo, no a wusunity, no a banachi. No a Janet senior and no a fuck to crow, no being so no chess and some because they have tried there was a son and nipano a belief. It's almost a brand for me to my dream. I has unqua. Almost say, as awful. Maybe I make say, if I don't even know any part of the Bible affecting my life because a big cry me near I didn't need persona, a be radin my babeduna. There's one thing I always tell my people, one thing I always tell my friends, the majority of Bible man ready, nobody can take my mind off it. Saboson so me and Kwasiasa.
Oh, sir.
Yes, I don't quite the majority. Because Ebrani about Bob, those days a political campaign we have before mal and be wa say this not the aqua uno. We make us a boabo. You go home a quebi. Na obina dear quasi and go home, na you see a cobo football. A kumasi aboabo. Na you go home before I quay a yakakra.
Apostle Jacob Bepache why?
No problem.
A yakakra. Oh, Apostle Jacob. Man, I'm rebel.
Aye.
Oh, Kafra was a Kafra. Na kodru ho na yira ka ndi twa mu fefi no akwani jefi o kasa normal ya musa na hwe ni twa me anim so no kra ne malam no ani ni pa na ma ekogina ba bi twa ne se afi o de obefa ya ko malam no ti dru fie wa akwani ti se o kasa nyina bonti no nkobɔ na mane se yaba ana ko yi se kobɔ na mane se yaba ne befa ye koye at once na kwana hye no ho wɔso wɔno no na ɛda no yɛ yawada wɔn kasa eji so opportunity na phobi so opportunity na na kwa yebe twamnyo na no nam ho na no nkole kase ano mo dia toko agu pampan so mo yim ene sua so ye wada in fact me se make go 15 minutes e men no yi ti ba ne say na suddenly akwa hu ye afa de on kasa ene yo gigi iska kakra o ma ekofa tofi o se tofi white awi nim afa su no bibi abowure afa su yen konkofa the agrada esia bibi dem yenkonko fe nomra chese sem honyan na just ni nyina etwa kodia se yenye ni skama no na niema na open baby benya bi pe e Savelugu market e wo northern region asema make you kumase o what is your cost of Savelugu
when it's on Savelugu
ya bi gross sunyan so ade na so so hia na numere no a ane ma ni Well, many years down the line, we say, na ni page mi sana. Obede do savulugu say no mere no waje yen says. And he was able to beat our mind because the other coin account for me had say he is the most powerful. He is the most everything. And until now, was a cratch for a bomb tie. Now, no, no, Ajagurajah, no, to ne, Ajana 1 near Ajana 2 for the no.
What bonny deed, lawyer Ujowi, Ushenwa, Uhune near man is saying, what Jenny saying?
You don't have to even be discerning to understand. So, when you know, for you don't even have to be discerning. What does it? Also, for you know, ya ba ya ba bidu pa pempenso ye nim ye mane kane no anan kane amaya no me krom kwa bi si de bia ne ehu bayi e kane aba ho ne ntewa ne ehu bayi bi aka ba ne sen e ba se na be de bayi su kane a e tie kane no mo no bom bayi twum e bi kura obi wakọ ne kunu honom okoda anase bi wakọ ne yiri wakọ okuta bobo na ordinam school park so yes ehu bayi wo yire o park so as kania buy and obi amfa bobo na TV onam kania ma hu no so we should have learned all these commons as well as we growing enti ma medu pempenso we at this century 2022 in our life na kofu ya san babiem and how they able to eat into people's mind I don't know my opinion is mystical menti ase how they because you don't have to be pastor, you don't have to understand the Bible, you don't have to be a priest, you don't have to be anything to tell us so now we free Portugal but the kutukurudu and a buy and one say edia swa emrantie and what are they going to get from that
protection
sense in that
a protection a lawyer
it doesn't protect you from anything no mo de na any other no mo nya omo nkonko to blade mfa nyi omo tirimi so sen ko omo hia omo nim de eye pa no mo do ma gya mo tinya fufu no de nam no
so lawyer we lawyer na osofu bobe ka bibi say we lawyer bi nim say wo pese encha obekọ na we lawyer yi na wo hwe say Portugal bofo na what two every Portugal no obedru Ghana na ho kire nti menti ase se wanfa niema kakra de ye Portugal niema mewura Ghana kra ne ye hu difference kakra ne ye nananam akom niema na omoye no eno no bai wo be hye ne kena ne na menti ase kakra ne say Portugal for no so omoye the same thing na because aho kire wo Portugal na so won ko Dubai se ne no so go be kan enko fa Dubai for ahwe a any perfume fa coffee fa omo nsem so mbe yi onko to peacocks enfa nipa din to peacocks say wo peacock ni nyini a na wu nyeska niema na bofo ni free Portugal be no Ghana no o gine say
omo nyina omo je bribe say asa wa bribe na kakra so ho kire ana omo nyina de esa no na nsem wo East Africa obi kofa akowa bi so Yesu German tinu fu ya wanu ko East Africa o ko bu ni pasa o man pani o kuro na pamoni fro nya za nkonko any and a permanent fruit. Ebia na koya kofa be. So that say. But when you be a but when say they are vulnerable people who are wait me dey bu. That is the problem. Na me for say e kwa nanim no. Ababan a e ba ni nyina omuntie. It is about time we made laws to outlaw these people. Also shemra. I'm telling you. Na say IGP kura no one shemra e ma no homenezo kakra so na esi e. IGP one shemra. Now see your man who minutes crab was there's loophole here. Article bu had one. Met be quite their charge on because why you say so you see it gets chances of my pa 275 grown men to represent us in parliament. No mean now be called Ben Chrome says say no sa enyam brase ni nyina esuntwa ankaba bua papa because they said I too much. I is too much. So say they be a call Ghana one share TV station na ba be. Hey, I'm call Ghana mcheti. Omko na tiso. It's too much. Meje mama so for Jacob.
Now lawyer hold on. He say me fan say me we a lawyer who deal with physical things because ni pay problem. And ba our semu ba mra semu obi akoy bibi na wo hia lawyer mo gina wo chiama. Ajagurajah ankobi bofo bi ankobi On ubo mpaye se bia nyame onimu a na nyame kura di abo na lawyer ko no wanka say ye a and na wanfa lawyer uzi nyame nimu a de okọ ebebu agu so because we hear representation who hear so bi be kwa ka wasema ma enti se koba se obi pepepa na wa ko gira Ajagurajah ho menim se mre bi fire wuja ba ha ana se fire wuja o man kofo be da ahwedi oso wi ahwedi e wrowa no ato agu dem o fam no ato agu mpa so penkrata e kwan betima bia ma na
emo ayedi no ato agu mpa so no asanda so
ayemo no ayenya no aye no
Oh, beans come.
I'm sorry, and a bees also fam no a certain amount of bees aye no aye
bees
bees aye
na za wo ye wa ache wo mpa no so
and the best na what hwe agu mpa so no what them na the niam abebro ne nkofo ka ntino why lawyer na wo platform isu nyame ada Roma no aba be grace occasion yaman so obi wo no pepe person sa na ma no a wo ti bi say yes won koda sa ayemo no a na wa adwene ye wo say
it's absolutely nonsense. Also, there are people about China ye immigration issues amano na trans ma hwe ne history ne bibia na o hwe nya obi a na wabafo wabetena kromu anum for 19 years. Now naka 1 year now bit me on a private life. So the first one kromu 20 years in a private life, if he can show so at kromu 20 years and a private life abai bit me jazz waka say oh enye o private life 20 years where do we hent no obetimi ya faso anya paper so oba ehwe bibia we kika ne mabom na 19 years and I'm just trying akra the other the use of course the team in fact what the team 19 years near the other na the nim na sheda anya yi apparently na osofo bi according to him osofo bi aka che ne say we hu osinsumu wi as say the paper no say go nya ne be 3 years ago. On the same route, I'm saying there. How do you want the yeduma? Oh, now 20 years in the crown, you can have to show. And yes, be a buy a fan passport. Says I be na me baby wuremu. Enti na mo ha mo stamp say woman till maybe 20 years. There be you have to show every single year of the 20 years. And if na we dey na way. So because they want to see say when PM from mining and minute tintin be an asa baby wuremu. They want to see all that. So in the 20 years, a year systematic check of 20 years, knowing that all the 20 years you were present in this country. Where you know how it is because now saying when you're on cratanabes in film and such here, in us all pan no jancy.
He's almost such as say, oh, I know the only young of who come and say, whom been at the boacotus. Whom been at. Ebi edi nkrata na kwose ma me wota num ana se abai
embra no de adwuma so ti bi busan so no oties o kire mu sen o so say lawyer we dey honhom adwuma we dey enye lawyer
bia no honhom mu ase
and I was livid. The point honhom adwuma dey by lawyer me nya honhom ase what so I say honhom adwuma dey na ka dey ama dey o kan sa kire wo so no dey call akwakwagi ama na no say honhom krata na ade nam na we share immigration for na the honhom krata akire so mti ase do you understand? And I'm saying there be any say nye well one ti ase anokoye anokokoye ahomachi 5 am da ho ana menya akọ ya che no
okoye den
okoye papa no paper no. Now apparently they were here no edit fake documents be fair from and I'm not sure anybody a lawyer or the fake documents they are fair from and trying to bump it up to the 20 years old some year they I didn't know, but he was so confident because I can't just say the paper no saying back 3 years before the 19th year.
Njene se mrano krano by wutwa mrani mo mfa mrano
wutwa mrani ebu mrano so amezi mrano so nimu na is a fake document there ya cheno ya china shima we have to go there. So we have to go there now. The ethics of, and yet the ethics of the job now what's our koko buano because waba on sra bem say buano na betimi abuana the ethics of the job anka wenye nipa osenka otu you don't lose sleep even a minute on them because only in komoka chene say bibie ni kromo ase honhom wiase na bibie ni wiase bebia ase honhom wiase eni Ghana eni Burkina eni Togo eni Cote d'Ivoire honhom wiase bie ni bebia eyemra ana yedi adwuma udi mra ne so a yede bema wo. And I even tell them, say, Obi catch them, say, who will be a way bida, any partner or catch who will be a lady announced no quite 18 years, where be done a dear man. And I'm well, I don't deny that. So I say, be a dear man, home office was here, bumped me a mistake. The home mistakes will be wrong, and sometimes we write back and correct it. So it's here your hair, no, not dream fast to say, be a or say 20 years, no, the mile, but it will come back to bite you. At the end of the day, all to us to renew. They'll come back to it. No, they'll bring you back and restart your 20 years now. They may not even take responsibility for their mistake. No way, you know. And you are trying to black and white at all. You have to follow black and white. I am rather come where the edge. It is a judge. No, dear, you're not making kind judgment in now. Said Debbie, where do we 1 year? What make I say, Miss Susan, a honey on the law. You were wrong. It may per se, but they call a patrabuna. So no more shamami. I mean, no more shamami. I want to be sure my cousin Debbie, honey, or you're wrong to be out of form. Now, saying a quebiana or comment be a name yet. So far right comments here will be communicated basic. Animal court, high court judge catcher and say uncle kind literature books. Na dream refi, na when you are supposed to come pano. Omo appeal as the quay, says a jail no. On the court appeals court is the high court no decision me and was wrong. Ain't no appeal for over 10 editions on Coca literature books. The padrin bonnie say when it's him, I know master sana. And he had the embrani the edge. So and the home we are seeing catcher up one say, or go out with nephew, na your literature books, bonnie be to know whom we are atani, whom we are to be any baby. That is the position of the law. It moved back as I say, or so for seven conquer to a woman passo, na me for being seen to empana that's your two munguso. Empana or that's your two munguso.
Why would they dare you?
On also near man or petty. As we will be that catchers on pity.
Uncover bomb and contact up Magana, powder, so powders in soup, and all pretty good packets.
At the end of the day. So, I uncle because I meet them say, Omoko, Malam be one more attachment. If a baby can think. And Omoko Malam was a Omoko Chronsoy. Ain't he omo a retentive memory? Add a machine in ano. Ombetimi akai. Omkoko do na Malam and a ba, a cannon tree.
Oh, heading.
Or no cannon tree or the nature.
On the back cannon tree.
Ah. One no Malam, no retentive memory. One no neba, Eddie and Pia quality. Now, condo bear doctor, and obey pharmacist, and also bear chemist, biochemist, and Canadian Canaban one pet. On no bet mamma, retentive memory, I'm when you're a now they are co-investing aqua medicine, but nobody will can entry. What to be that?
There be a we Jana Beccacho say, or no element, you know, in your so yes, as is human. In plow assassin.
You have the Jan, I don't feel that Jano.
Yes,
that is a sad bit of it. So, they get people following them. So, share a Avram one when was a small media. Abefasa Ajagurajah, so be see a Jana, so one was a Samsa. And they get people to follow them. Sadly.
Lawyer, Mpacho, me my own court, me so free meeting by a win few crown wrong cry. And now I join you and come in. Obi Ohana ope migration help. Send your shop for her, me dika catch your pacho. Me lawyer Macopa me Jimmy D or one me lawyer be a view. Who from Naka will be one some chairman, me said the name of the papa. Give me the catch. Yes. It is only will be on migration issue. Now will be our pet a bibia for a lawyer. On friend now the LMLS account will be my special discount.
Yes.
What the car catcher when your platform is maybe this and assassin was the first one that one a free up a free still.
A free still. And as I say, Crano, Aquanya be aba. You see New Year, me Aquanya be aba. Fena Brexit na starting any effects kakra. E what the system. So Batun said. Kwesiko kwa de Britain ni Bruni de me papa wa tiase wase obetuma kwa bruchi baby awa ma breti wan ko baby ya ka brunia ono de bi o ti brunia ne John o so de ka se brunia bruni ne John Smith o ti bruni bia ni baby bi na o share how this island were able to colonize almost half of the world. It's amazing. So about this small country. So as I say, now the only in Pempi, you can say no much here. Now Brexit not starting any two effect, but a trenium ama also for means so crabs last month, last 2 months. Any part of the they are willing. Some baby carers, Chrome Hanum na baby Remo Hanum is amazing. It's amazing.
Say and now me fan say loopholes when you money to fan come free Ghana ni ade.
You know, Brexit na e buy into no. Block na woman no about 27 countries be especially among Eastern Europeans no. Will be break and na enyuma we be the care industry no more occupy care industry ne pa. We krum anu no a e hwe care industry na yen be before no. Etitu ne West Africa for any East Africa for any South Africa for ye care ne pa. Any nursing no ye pa anti ye healthcare and social nursing you papa and we have misuses obi a wo tie bi o krom abi anim obi o nursing and a healthcare worker be some way somehow ye pa and Zimbabwe for and South Africa for and afi Congo for almost ye care anyway ni pa na uyi omu free honum kakra bi no a na East European for to Hungary Romania and Polish for no almost ye care adwuma ni pa but dodo na no they've gone back home. Almost decided to say maybe because someone has said in our blogs and could be crowns called Germany and nominally. It is saying that there's a big gap, especially healthcare. There's a big gap. And the canano now anke nurses and one in Yakwenya nurses in degree nurse any diploma nurse coming from Ghana no more than biometrize and nurses end time pass English no. Ayat na the grade no was no one time pass nansenya eye enene nansenya I started January and I feel de care ordinary care when you even senior care is ordinary care so we need to be careful bia omode and so account and nya na point based system to share skilled workers need be a point based system no so but we the point based system is 50 points no the 50 points no means English language B1 and share that anything I think I so I do see an inquiry there, but why a diploma, certificate in nursing, degree, anything cra. And you know, any B1 will give you 10 points. Now for employer and so are all be found. Employer and so can say obit me to 20,480 and also then you 20 points and so on for employer and so license or the be if you are bar and also 20 points 20 10 now 50 points and that is all you qualify. Very good news, they said. We have spoken to some of the employers nipa be so license into the Ghana for be ATM is a break crisis and be na care homes near the money license. Doesn't matter how big your care or area services is best 4 or 5 be pay the care home kakra so maybe say nipa me show me 1 2 3 4 be pay into no unyina mbet me afre is good so be license because it doesn't matter so care home ni so unyia nipa dia unyia nipa and you're not getting the people here you force with me akofa on crop for free Ghana ban on bit me abeg my mouth fair enough so long as I your license no bit me I am license bit me agi am and on ton chain bit me abo to run that service way no and obi so team no license ni bi nso anybody be brave me no be kasa we say omo person be care adwuma no be brave team from Ghana they will be calling me and you know obi bia nso or license ni bi nso or person ye boa no kofa anipa nso eba no so long as the people are willing to wait. The good news is omo ba a bit may lead to their settlement nipa no obey adwuma yi na ne de nkura by 5 years time no obet me a settled person can settled person indefinite leave to remain. So now 12 months after that, you know, obetimi kura naturalize if they so wish to naturalize to become British. And also akwenya no enyina ho. Enti no emu bia na ebie ne yede tikora kwane se emu be biempo asensen. Enti obi wo ho a nurse ni but opeso step it down kakra ebe care na for atwa ne nurse ni so afro because nurse ni so he na edin. Care de no B1 ni hye dan ye.
And the nurse for to me chenyi omo be care from to be the bewrem.
Yeah, you ought to be room. Now still certificate no oba now we go school no now your conversion. So because you still have to convert. Professional, one thing about professional, baby, who professional, baby, could be or maybe so or mumra, you convert. Me a lawyer wa hey, me ko Ghana meeting ko has you could lawyer. Ghana legal council name me. So I was me ko Ghana law school. no me what's called post call. No more Ghana law no kakra because Ghana law no is different. Criminal code is different. Almost to administration of stool and be any or he be any assassin or him man quas na wa. So na wash na o ma church was ani mani and sana on be medo edwa their system no sabe pepe we na na ba hakra you have to take courses binom near there and sana on be medo. It's nurses need to step it or a midwife can see up our practice for 14 years. My client be about last 2 weeks or a midwife can see up but to control so when we're nurse for the and step it down so baby care hand but when you're Juma or Yorkshire or she's doing well was starting a Juma just say or that's what and it's what you say or best answer about the midwife. I don't know why and when in 2-3 years with my also midwife. Sometimes you have to go back before you come forward again. It's life.
Exactly.
Life, but that's the principle. Sometimes you have to go back before you come into Yakwanya da opa na yeah, course we did you media other time be a mebaso with the next
What about my the latest info?
yes.
Because why wouldn't be uncroftful? Ghana for we don't read for ourselves, you know. Also, we'll be say we say we say. So we don't. At the end of the day, nobody explains things properly to anybody.
It's true.
But now we all qualify for something. But then
Oh yes,
also
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's quite important.
Mate. Lawyer for number ni tuja mayene.
What was it?
Japan pacho lawyer the number ni betuja. Obi antro number ni from to se mayen. Why? Madaro.
Also we will go to so.
I sabi na ebe answer why. So utro bibi. Katimen describe bisa number. Inti nkofo efa say e bisa number.
Good.
Ipacho fa number ni to so obi a utemi bia mepomacho. Number ne ba unso obi atro kra menga so obi atro ntu uja. Osu tro bi guso. Ne no so obi ba ni ohu no mfa bi. Inti lawyer pacho. Utro di na na dia sha lawyer Anderson. What the lawyer Anderson show na the number na to aso.
My number near +44 7874 108 821 +44 7874 108 821. My number no.
Lampa John sense should be with this time they boko.
Okay. +44 7874
7874
108 821.
821.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Interbushia from Pacha Mufa number ningu my lawyer Anderson and our lawyer Danson number no intino Monfa Entoho and my wife. Katimen is their tour +44
thank you
7874 108821.
Yes.
Fantastic. Nicholas Tan also their tour. Oh, wow. Madam papa busia for sa na ye no. Won etoda enye bibibi na ebe kasa da bi uye education na eno beboa. Why?
And me kwa me principles so go see adwuma me nu me phone.
Phone ni no. That is number 1. And na the pan me so call for some reason. I be ring them back.
Yeah.
Okay. They hear me free 1 hour consultation.
Yes, and that's who me
and that's all. Because consultation baby I could become maybe baby I'm £80, but I cannot say 120 me meeting or 80.
Is that?
Yeah. It made me call baby 150 consultation an hour.
Yeah.
Me come there no me nipa no ni me just say me ye we intina so funti or say we prophet intina me ye ma.
That is no grow we
we ye no. Aye. It just say or the 80 acha intino. Also for the 150 they say a day's job no.
150 Covent Garden.
Yeah. Legal way aborting. Legal.
It will be lawyer dan so say 1 hour ni free there. Take who their friend be some question no. Men go cast say no so be kind a very important thing and will be say and as Messi say and yes say ni enfam obra Ghana will be lawyer ni lawyer say and no here lawyer nya kasa wi a enko fro bi a wa no book long oti ba bi a wo no so ndi wa ye no wa ba kru ma che e do go be some questions be patch up
what he land the whole paper no after Ajagurajah also for me ba nkra ta nko yi wo se ko jaro anim and then I paper kroma
that's all
that's of that charlatans Omu ko interviewer, omu na handkerchief suri bia. Yeah, boy, you still handkerchief mom so fan for many. No ko mo bu favor.
Wakope London visa ya reject no. And or the cover Dubai. And who copy paper now could dinner here. Who be
Aye. No, also for Musa mo question bia. Me dey actually my bia be seen. Why I don't know when pass. Is it not obvious so many papa? I don't know. It's obvious to me.
Apostle Jacob ni aye quiet at apostle. Any answer the question am I?
Apostle quite a bit man answer we am me pa. Apostle
why? I didn't see no client. Answer na the service na what the apostle am.
Oh,
the lawyer down so that man will be a fan to be on my madam sepa. Ye we are na Sabine bisa say what is Tetragramaton. Na ya explanation. Pan pacho apostle pacho won answer in na man.
I mean, they'll forever have clients.
Pacho hold on. Sabine says off I'm going on. Now who bisa question ni abutre. Sabina tobo atena who bisa question ni nwane nkoza nya abutre kaka why. Apostle pacho to aso.
They will always have clients till the end of the age because just creature and man has the need to seek the supernatural, something that is above him. And you know, we'll follow the history of the world, Greece, Rome, Babylon, whatever, they were religious societies. I mean, Ephesus was a religious city. And the man has that need. Now, Africa, no, you see, I'm not shocked about Ajagurajah because Yankasano, excuse me to say, excuse me, African traditional belief, no, is similar to some of what he's doing. Our festivals, our traditions, I mean, our African beliefs, no, what general African beliefs are. I mean, I don't see any difference between Ajagurajah here, no, and I mean, our traditional whatever. Now, human beings are programmed. Okay, we have the subconscious, we have the conscious, you know, we have the pre-conscious. Subconscious, no, and also, you see, we act 80% subconsciously and 20% consciously. So if you grow up in an environment that believes in these kind of traditions, naturally you are programmed. You see, the same principle that advertisers use. Well, even a picture is able to convince somebody to buy something that they don't want to buy. It's a program. If you want a program, they show you. I mean, there's no way you not follow. That secondly, so no, these things are also evil spirits. Well, in 2:4, we said Simon of Samaria. Bible said all the people in the city, they beheld him as a great man, the great power of God. But history more. There are people like Rasputin. Rasputin, I mean, was able to deceive so many people. Whatever, this man, Nostradamus, Gene Dixon. And these things are spirit. Now, as long as you are open spiritually, they'll enter you and they'll manipulate you. And mind control. I mean, America, I think in the late 60s, early 70s, they had a mind control program. So these things there, unless Onyankupon Bema, they will always be. Well, they will always be. And it's not just, sometimes we look at things on an intellectual level, but you also have to look at things on a spiritual level because man is an intellectual creature and man is a spiritual creature. We are not only intellectual, we are also spirits. And you know,
it's apostle, the way yen GDN entity, a was aspect in Muno. And into my mind games and they easily get the people.
Yeah, because we are programmed. If you are programmed for I mean, look, the most important part of a human being's life is the first 6 years. The first 6 years, any program nipa. But if a person is programmed above that for 10, 15, 20 years, then that person must be deprogrammed by God. And Romans chapter 12 says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The mind has to be renewed. No, Sanka said that you may prove that which is a good, perfect, and acceptable will of God. That means that even the will of God, you cannot enjoy it, you cannot enter it till the mind is reprogrammed. Into which nations are, which are China, as you know, you look at Singapore, you look at America, you look at Britain. It began when there was a revolution in the mind, in changing the mind. China had the Great Leap, I think 1955 to 1965. So things, it won't just happen. In TSO Obie Jimia, so that person must go through some processes. What can you say with Jimmy Kaka? Jimmy. Well, Jimmy, we've gone in this kind of environments where, and even so, our history and Kasano is laced with these things. Well, because the wars that the chiefs were going near, they were using spiritual powers and fetish priests. What was that? Oh, but I know the history Ashanti. You say, pardon me, if I'm wrong, you can call my history. How did Ashanti conquer the dangerous?
And it's our story in Nani at the say, upon all the powers you buy, because you Bruniba no the Nyan son or the Betty Omina.
Hello, boy.
Hello, free. A chronomono, and your phone who don't free or no mobile club. Powers and a Ryan.
No, and yet a question Brony and far away, or the two on the body.
Because there is the power need to be true.
Oh, yes, use the guns. This is
Nanya is shoot one of your so much chest.
Oh, Mobwa, you're not going. You're not going.
Now say Kumasi wants to shoot to a Kwabi or I want to say, maybe I'm coming for not to turn every no.
Alaba
area, Hobby.
I make a acrophobic on yeah.
Yes, you three. I said, you're not bulletproof. What's your bulletproof? What's your bulletproof on the
even so, Casa Brofuno Crampoa, they too they believe in these things. They also believe in it because even people like Ronald Reagan, never Ronald Reagan, no near they know. He believes.
Ubiatro say, they did a bihubo, a senam, or so more powers in Mujane.
Well, but
good job, maybe says our question. They say, Usha send ye hypersania manwa. Brunini Bano did 2x4 2 could be Usha Ramsam Cranom Betten. Because British Vanano may say, no timid buy a hawk. No, this sardine, this anya man, bed that die and cool for as a share no money at the idea. Nen to ma, Nasha powers ye winning a chinua, omtimichi in anwa. And I say, power net you create me found the moon.
Power useless.
That's the power now, why in power net you can be still enslaved.
No, but it's been so with
not just any power power in a row to be the actually B2. And I didn't want you man, they are not you.
You see. The whole argument, it falls on history, because Roman Empire, they were not worshiping God, the God of the Bible. They also worshiping all these idols and things. The Greek Empire, they also worship the Babylon Empire. Near the Intino, I mean, it's something that is there. Well, whether you use the examples that Britain came to
the apostle and the epistle and say, we are not denying that it's there. Everybody knows something is there. So God will conquer the evil spirit. But the way people take the evil spirit, then in the absence of it, no, they are manipulating for follow painting picture. We say we have the evil spirit, we have the powers, but we say there is no power attached to this. That's what we are talking about.
That is perfectly 100% right. But the thing is that there are only two powers on this earth: the power of God and the power of Satan. And if the people are not with God, wouldn't they be captured? They'll be captured.
Then now, what Jabaku? Baku the powers of no powers. And so the power of the devil, the power of Satan, and the power of no powers. Power of no powers in a year, Jumau. Would the shank of one power be, but there is no power. And also your power.
And also your power.
I know, and they're dangerous.
The
power of no power will also come under the power of Satan, because whatever it
is, the power of the mind do apostle Shinimo.
Mind controlling.
The human being, there's no creature that is independent of a power. There's no creature, a principle. There's no creature. Either they're of God or they're of the devil. Until we don't have any middle ground. There's no middle ground here.
Well, you can say there are people are influenced by a certain power in terms of their attitude, their character, their behaviors. But question now, lawyer Busayim, we'll check all the historical, Europe, for example, like Greece, like Rome. There were no spiritual or religious leaders apart from emphasis Christianity. And then Crawford Diomachi in thousands. So more and no worship.
Oh, there were people. The Oracle of Adelphi. Oracle of Adelphi.
Yeah,
go and read about the Oracle of Adelphi. They did it. They did it more than even Africans did it. I'm telling you. The Temple of Ephesus. The Temple of Ephesus was one of the 7 wonders of the world. Obiako Temple of Ephesus. Ekosum. You know, the throne of Pergamos. Pergamos.
And then look as if so updated.
No, it's something that tried. They tried, they tested it. It didn't help them. Industrial.
Even humanism, our background, it is satanic. Secular, because we show Europe today, they are secular humanists. So they come under the devil. It is secular humanism, no? It's satanic. There's nothing like just pure mind. Because the idea is either from God or Satan.
The idea to sit down and to calculate the Kubu of the devil.
Of course. Of course. There's no neutral. I mean, go through the Bible. There's no neutral power.
I mean, go back to us. It's not just the free agents. But I didn't know
of course.
Yes, not just alone. The free agents, you know, our Creator gave to us. They say, the conscience that we have, they have been able to skew their conscience towards
exactly.
Evil thoughts.
But even we share even Europeans are the same thing, because Europe used from 1765 to 1938, they pulled about 30 trillion pounds from India. So the world either God, the hope of the world is Christ.
Christ. I think that is the whole bottom line. Hey, na Sabina, ABC about Tetragramaton. Sabina, you from the beginning on. Tetragramaton, Unyamidi, your friend Yahweh, and actually Jehovah, no. Edino, YHWH. YHWH, that is a name now. Unyabe Moses biso unyankopon say na wo soma me me kwa me kase hwan na asoma me no say kase the I am eno na ye the YHWH, that is Greek and a Hebrew for friend yod he vav he yod a vav a eno no na eni friend say vowels bia wo na it was just consonant kwa and the vowel she shame ye benya Yahweh and eno the friend Tetragramaton, the name of God. Now, eno ne yeka say, sa Tetragramaton no onyankopon prekope. That is God. Etino so obi ka say, Ajagurajah ka say beje Tetragramaton wa. Ontimi ma Tetragramaton wa. Yaye ne seminar. Na Tetragramaton wa. Yaye nkrevu egu ade so no enye possible. Aha. Etino eno ne yefre no Tetragramaton say I think say me try say me show bibika krawa hase, but over the time your friend saying weka occult symbol edi omo hajimu omo draw a symbol of the name of God, which is not biblical. Into the church ni na mu dada menye bibika kra bi na hwe into the sign no this is it. Into this is the sign Tetragramaton sign no omode to was a winner representing Yankopon, which is a lie. But this is it. Into the Yahweh no training the was here no Tetragramaton, that is the name in the Hebrew alphabet. No, that is what it is. But originally no YHWH, that is the name of God. That is what is called Tetragramaton. Now here quotation is Psalm 83 verse 18. It is the Unyami din unyame prekope. It is a ono catch yourself in obe activity Tetragramaton one. It's a blasphemy because you cannot activate God. Nipa mena lawyer ko activate God
and put it on soup.
and put it on soup. You know, enti no eno ne ye kyerɛw say se wo so nkɔ asɔre unjinyami the church is a scam into copy protection no say be Tetragramaton. In other words, you are still following the scam because it's God himself and what the man. But over the years, this is what it became. Who follow those days, signing the dahono. Almost be used to the 4 elements, into almost the air, fire, air, and a water, and the spirit account home. You can't Tetragramaton, and this is what it, and then no sign in the account was not this the name symbol. This is what it represents, and this in a developer from BBF and Wicca. Wiccan, the 19th century practice is attached to divination, is attached to sorcery, is attached to witchcraft. Into the Bomodiane Google what Wicca is all about. Natural symbols, it will teach you. It is a symbol we know and yet Tetragramaton as God's name, there be, but it's a symbol. It represents a deity, different deity. And I put the company concerning this.
Ephesians 2 verse 2 say, in which you once walked, you were following the ways of the world, influenced by this present age, in accordance with the prince of the power of the air, which is Satan, the spirit who is now at work in the disobedient, the unbelieving who fight against the purposes of God. And everything that is happening is a spiritual battle, a spiritual warfare between the kingdom of God, which of course is far stronger, and the kingdom of Satan. And all these Ajagurajah, they've all been raised by. I mean, if you trace Christianity in Ghana and Kasa, what you mean who said, Nankaye Pija, and Kanyamisum Ebe Pija. I mean, the nexus point was, I think, late 1980s, early 1990s, and Kebe Pija. But I think that Satan who said Pejano, he also raised his people, just like the parable of the tares and the wheat. Into what is happening is a spiritual battle, and it will not be won till we have a strong church. It will not be won by legislation, although legislation might help, but it will be won with a strong church and the preaching of the pure gospel. Because in Israel, that was what changed nations. And then Jesus said, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel. It's the gospel that will bring change. But apart from that, dear, I don't see any, I see a bad US situation. And then I'm pessimistic.
Na yapon na many of be ya lawyer down so ewa ha. I wish you for mon contact lawyer. See what brepa, but ya jina boso ha because education or the man na it was very, very important.
Next week, Yami
Aduma next week you never ban fa another law. Say na me kura me nim say sa obi a carer crap so free Ghana no the ba. Ube to that be remo UK has say to be sra wo kura wo Europe baby. Now be so ba me nim ha wo mbe work now say be mo akọ Ghana no akọ ne asade oba be free ha ba ha. Me say guy be video bi o itil no so say itil we so amane pa na ho kire ne pa mpa chaw e be ya akọ Ghana ne hwe lawyer be ti ma bo wa why.
Although Manenta na ba bi tin.
Nti misremo we hu hia enu nti na me ma meka nkyerɛ sɛ dabi akwankyerɛ de uba platform isu a me enye bi ni ha
we akwankyerɛ papa
lawyer ya ma wa kyerɛ kan ya pepa ba so be ka kyerɛ me sɛ sunsum wiase ba gi aburo anyway ya nkɔ ya de si because senior na apostle Jacob on the can say ade no ye de ateteyen aduru ba bi o sanke timi de ye ho no se se no masa henya ya de ni because omunim say kokofuo e de mabinum so ho etimi srew se wo wan sori amfiri wa adwenim papa ye program your friend me say one na yira tena over 30 years omukwankola more than 2 me be say me boss specifics no omukwankola more than 2 lawyer wakwa kodi ni aba bi achiama aware nagu all in the name of say oso hu bibia ba o I just said
after 30 years. That's a long time.
What's up, Ruby?
Holiness for no. We have the same program that could be free Canada.
Oh,
$5,000 a share in the wedding. So for the only cotton connect.
Oh,
Bema no long time as no on any call out. On any kunti onya ne kuru no onko ware no.
Oh yeah.
Akoyi ring na ko flash.
Oh
Ajani
lawyer. Just say and somebody who are yet here.
No, but this is criminal. We are criminal.
Na Bismarck bisa says uncle for no ye di besie no nti law no baby ntimi nchiche sanse hu omu de because so be hwe nipa no aka che ni say for example to the point there ya woman say almost say who friend say two tap and two tap almost two tap as a vision bia omunya aka che almost say Europe say osum nyame enye nti Nyankopon say holiness for ni na nko Ghana no mko sum nyame
that's me Europe enye
David Europe don't mean sum nyame na wono no a wose omo enko no what Germany ono wonko you enna nipa
okoba
enna nipa no bi omuti UK ha a ye twan ticket ba akodi ka so na niam nyina akugu Ghana se nyame ba into a free UK akotena Ghana okọ no so oni paper ya ka so wo so David the gidi into wakoka. And how are they able to take the mind of people? No, it's a UK for uncle heaven, Germany for uncle heaven. Did you Germany? You'll be out to Germany, you Christoni. It's here you and teachers say, what Gina Sam no catch them for sometimes it's troubling.
It's troubling. It's troubling.
Lawyer, we be the rate on and they have almost sex. Or say, Adam and Eve in Kwansan somewhere. Roman natural side, I know your view.
Hey.
And they say,
hey, or somebody is on Jiminka, or say, a dow by a dog, you know, over hell.
That was what you might get him.
Yes, and some of what can wrong. Let me be some question say, Adam and Eve, no more than no Jinahe, who picture better could try.
No Jinahe.
Because a beer, Saddam, Nanda uses and penny walk. So the if na ba ko bo ha no de ba ko bo ha obey
you know
just say me dwunu we me ntimi nti ase e ju ye de na hu se we ye Adam and Eve e ju obi ye bibi fufuro bia obekọ hell omunya sa de na omoye no ba wo necklace go chi no akotutu ni na be ma na free osu ne yire ni gyan no ade ntia because one ne yire no ebe ware no onu pode no onya o ne yire ni hia obi a no so be ware no a Bema na busuafo so mo mpene emoba na nware sa bema no ene omuntem te omukọ yu bema na akọ ware fofo amon wo ba na be hia sa bema we no ware no so for se da bi san se oye ne first love ntini bema no ne won kwala no ne tisisi no ma ware 10 years no onyai no nko ware ba ko no an onye ne dada o propose to no na
just call out kurada sa
Omako out that na busuafo na ampresto be ware aha eti no nkonko ware no akwa no so ne nam he so wo fa he so wo he obi anim no
so ware kra so otena ma na yiri ni wu ansa na obaka akwa ware sa akwa na ware be so oja we no
na omo ye wicked pa o ade na se mo so ka che yonku nipa ade na so ka we chire no ade na so ka we che yonku nipa
now ni from Ghana. We are from more Europe, America, and the other way home.
Especially Germany, UK, and the US. Sakromi and Sawin. The only year man, anoding. Ni naye ubeko hell mkwa. We are beko hell. We are beko hell mkwa. Because so friends say o frame. Na me ye hello. So beko hell.
Hey.
Omunka hello because say hello no call. A spiritual no mobile no but for me catch say hello hello now just hello
oh no you see I descended to just say clowns and just say hello be hello
no we are on one that's what onkusia bophobia
of course. I don't trust that you are so that be hello, Krasabi, or the flu, I hell. Oh, it's
hell. Oh, international. Don't come you. Oh, from no can hell, just almost Kohan. And you know,
it's someone is so far from on Bejiso.
I am on the job from abusiafo
Praise him, praise him.
enti no aha na obi atwe hello nti ukoka hello obi krom kasa no ka hello no o ye krom akosia maachie ni age so de ende wanchia no ono wa downplay obi krom nchia e de akose hell that's it odwino ho abisa say
na bi tiasie mo twa tiasie nim
na holiness for ne de
human
na
beings
also who him say my men or this starting holiness in Nigeria ni no means apostle honey oti ya or my men or this starting so called hell e be referring din or call hell or call any say or quick cancel 3 4 5 I'm say I think say 4 5 years down the road and I didn't leak his assembly or kind and no credit na lawyer any say o se na ne ho kire ne pa na o pese o de ne ba eko school no nyeska and or to one of fast adwene and or yes I tape na o se that thing ye turn seed no ntem obe nyeska na ne ba ba be ware and also one penny e ma ne ba ne ware be ma no and na ne baba ne ka che ne se one penny o ba ko ten to kwan of fast o nyeska e be hwe ni school eti ne baba ne ko ball na asofo amane e no mo frɛ ma me no e ma me ne ka say no cre also say ma me ne ka no ka say heaven kra no McDonald's ever heaven.
Also,
double marker.
Double marker na pe wupa mila.
Yes, I
the bad girl, so heaven is that experience. One also called McDonald's and KFC now heaven.
Hey.
Oh,
hey there.
I know in Africa, America near the people have been doing those.
Also, fan kwa sala no mo kobo ne bani. Ni nyina mental you helpful.
But mami be cast on the no open. Now the question is there, lawyer, you can imagine a ma odu magum punchirim, omo makoja omukunu, omo makotutu, omo wigs agu, omo so mo emi, omo so mo makeup, omo so mo trouser.
Deodorant.
Omo use deodorant, omo use perfume. It is as same you obeke kan no. E ma omo je di omo dem no. Omo nye den.
Wow, we know so on deodorant in Fanamoto. Na on the motor on can
Asosika bi hu wache papa. But your power frame why? Asosika. Wow, michia mo official pa. My feel rough. I am enemy nkasa. Ain't you know? Apostle Jacob have the final word there. Not yeah, sorry, because lawyer send them Mr. Unim so be or any issue bia. O contact lawyer so Mr. for LMLS come home. When I was thinking mo ya jimu yi levy ewo ho. Because ofrene free say ya. Na lawyer so check £150. 1 hour for free. I was what Timothy to be 1.75. Also Timothy na at least and also bro be ojene say. Also Timothy.
I saw Timothy well
LMLS levy. Na komoti because lawyers all the chill free platform is unti. So and we are and I feel friends so be return or call at any point.
No someone for frame me and we are returning in.
Oh okay. If me patch mon contact no who US who he only will be our ha or say whom be a gen paper why frustrated I one friend lawyer esrew me minima di ko ja make sa na me lawyer di dwumadi bi e wo reduce na enkofo brew
pa seriously and simple issues nipa bi do ma dream and here complex man no yonku nipa no jina baby sire no it's sad, very 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 sad.
Apostle the company have the final word there.
Well, thanks everybody. Nyamin shiro bia. Me feel say it's a hard work must be done, and we have to change our nations. The climb will not be easy.
But Apostle ka say me the video be to o mo de mo nhwe di Ajagurajah man in crop for na ye. Apostle Bachokasa.
Yes, the climb must be done. A strong church, we must take up our Bibles, pray that we'll know Christ, be able to demonstrate the power that will transform minds and hearts and win the battle against Satan. I was saying there also have to be safeguarding of the average Ghanaian citizen, knowing that many are gullible, vulnerable, and weak-minded. And me feels a lawmakers in so as almost share angle, no. But mostly, the church is supposed to be the light of the world. Into the church must rise up. I mean, the rot and decay in the church and my light shining, it must fall off. And every Christian's duty is to pray hard, work hard, read hard, study hard, so that we'll have a better future. As it is, Africa is rather going backward than forward, but there is hope for the future. We have hope in God. Into America, is it too?
That's Obi Visa question. We made there was Franklin say, why are you using apostle but not Osmafo? Now, because you have Visa video, say. No, but Osmafo na Hebrew na Greek.
Chi, Obaso country.
Eti kame inte me ke kame gas Osmafo. Na mpacho so Osmafo na the Bible of na ye
Apostle.
Franklin, and I don't know why.
So
lawyer. When do you
I don't know. Most a jabi number one shop for many.
Very bad. One more cow. Where now you put cow?
Wait, any man in a
it's really to meet you. The now the fire champion is subject to your mistake.
Yes, Papa, I know you.
Hey!
One of the Jim Bible.
Now, Shabema, some Joma Betty. Yo, I wish you see ya. As I was saying,
oh my God. Oh, couldn't know about it. No crop, one they couldn't know about nine.
I say, no, I understand. We have a gas or chant to be who coming.
there's awful. Now, we'll be a soldier. I wish for Yadamas. I mean, come in now. Have a blessed weekend. You dear Chayampo. Yadamasi, thank you. Yo, good night. Good night.
Good night.